Kevin A. Kierstead from Truth on Tap. It's K-Tap, and you are listening to Debbie Daly on The Debbie Daly Show.
Tell us what you're going to do tonight. I used to think he said Virginia. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? I have some noise coming from... It must just be the air conditioner. Somebody sitting behind me. And what's going on, everybody? This is Debbie here on some night. I think it's Wednesday night. And there we go. That's what it was. It was a little bit too high. What are y'all doing out there, everybody? Where is everybody? I named the title of the show, Who is Kyoto? It's a name I've heard before in my past, and I don't remember where I heard it. I heard it somewhere, but I don't remember where. Let's see what the boys are doing. I got a call a minute ago from the boys. Who's in the call? Where'd they go? I should have that call here. They called on Skype. Oh, I'm not online. No wonder. Duh. Let me go online. Yeah, we've been knocking it out of the ballpark lately, having a bunch of fun here on the broadcast. Lots of fun. Just people being crazy and funny and having good times. Sorry, babe, we went to bed. All right, good night. Yeah, it's late. I know it's late. Who cares? It's late. And Curtis Green is saying something to me. Well, my goodness, that was yesterday. And Mr. Midnight Movie. Hello, Hank. Wait, they're still online. No, you didn't. Hold on. Maybe they did go to line. They go to bed. They just called right now. Hank, no. Hank, get down. Hank, get down. Hank, get down. I don't know if they're still up. Oh, I guess they went to bed. That's so weird because they just called not 10 minutes ago on my phone, about 5 minutes ago. We have Audrey now who has joined Skype. Beautiful Audrey. I wonder if we can call Audrey. I don't know if we can or not. I came on late. I know I'm on late, but I was going to tell y'all something pretty crazy. Yeah, he says they went to bed. That's cool. That's all right. No problem. So I'm here with nothing to talk about then. I'll just have to sit here and just think about something because I have nothing to talk about. I have Hank here in my lap, the Ridgeback Rhodesian, the Rhodesian Ridgeback Lab. I have him. What did I do today? I went running around with my daughter for a while and both of her little ones and did some stuff with her. Hank's right here in my lap. Say hi, Hank. Hank is amazing. He is such a killer dog. He is amazing. So smart. Hello, Pumpkin. I love you. Yeah, he's a good dog. What? I played something this afternoon. I did an afternoon show because I had just got home from running around. No. And I would, no. And I was listening to something, a piece of audio that I had found. And it was so moving that I wanted to play it for everybody on my show this afternoon. And I did. So I don't know if you can hear me. I guess somebody's listening. Okay, let me see if I can find this for you guys. It's on my history. No. I don't want to play the audio that I played because it's on the thing that I had this afternoon. Hold on. Let me kill it on my iPhone. Move, Hank. I can't do anything because Hank is all over me. Hold on, I'm trying to get there. I can't get there. Come here, Skype. Hello. See, I always miss the call. Isn't that? Let me call him back. And when I call back, they never answer, no matter who it is. They call me, and when I call back, they don't answer. I don't get it. Okay, I called you back, Eric. It's weird. I don't get it. They'll call, and then right when I call back, there's no answer. He just called at 12:49, and it's 12:50, so it was 1 minute ago. I called you back. Oh, it says he's typing. Try again? Okay. Nope, no answer. Oh, hello.
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 Good evening.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello,
Hello.
darling.
Yes, I can hear you. How are you
Did you
doing?
get my tweet earlier?
I haven't checked Twitter today. I don't know why.
Shit,
I
you
need to
missed
do
out.
that. Why? What?
It was, I'll tell you what. It was kind of monumental. We had our show, The Quantum Hologram, and we had this guy on, Kevin Estrella, who lives, coincidentally, just down the road from Wolfman. We didn't know this, and Wolfman didn't know it, and then he found out. But anyway, this guy's a musician. So I didn't call in. I told Wolfman, you call in, because he can talk, and talk musician stuff with this guy on our show. So Wolfman called in, told some stories, and then he said he wanted to play a song. So he played a song on our show, and it was amazing. I mean, the guy that was listening to the song actually said that he had tears in his eyes.
Really?
I'm not kidding you. It was really good. It was called Cauldron. And
Yeah,
I guess
I'm
it's a
looking at
song
my
about
I'm looking at my notifications right now. Was it you said
Eric-
live Wolfman Mike on our show earlier today? Is that the part?
Exactly. Yeah, you could play that, because if you want the audience to hear, it was pretty impressive. And the comments after, you won't hear that in that little recording. It was a 2-minute song is what it was. But if you want to play it, you have my permission. But I just think it was very touching. And anyway, it was really nice to have Wolfman call in and made a really good contribution to our show. So I was just kind of wanted to share that with you.
Excellent. So this guy, what was it that brought you to this guy to begin with? Is he a UFO? Is he a sky watcher? What is he?
He wrote this album, CD called Pyramids on Mars. And all his songs are recorded in the 432 frequency, which apparently is the real frequency when you're playing music, not the 440 that's being played on the radio and whatnot. But anyway, so this guy's amazing. I mean,
Okay,
I
now
listen to his stuff.
what's because I'm real into this speed stuff like that about that. He says it's recorded at what?
432.
432. That would be slower.
At a certain frequency, like
No, that'd be
megahertz.
higher. Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot about that stuff, but I don't really follow what you're saying right there. So you did a show earlier.
You could hear the music. Apparently, when you listen to the music, and if you hear it live, of course, I'm sure you're going to feel the vibration, but it's supposed to resonate, and it's a healing vibration. But for whatever reason, 100 years ago, the speculation is the Illuminati, whoever the fuck it was, they changed the frequency to 440, and that's what everything we hear that's recorded on our CDs, on the car stereos, at home, on the radio, whatever, is played in 440, and that frequency is not healing, it's not harmonizing. Although we hear it in our ears, we don't feel it in our soul. Where the 432, you literally feel the music in your soul. Pretty heavy.
Well, I know most everything that I've got that I know about is recorded at 44,100 whatever HZ. What is HZ?
Yeah, that's basically 440 is what that is. 44,000, it's 440. Cut off the the point whatever. That's kind of what that means.
I heard a strange EVP the other night on the show that I did with Jewish producer Fufu. Go on. I just went on the air with Jewish producer and Mr. Midnight Movie. There was a strange EVP that we heard, and when I slowed it down, it said bullshit. No, I'm serious.
No, I heard you say that. I laughed the first time too. I thought that.
How did you?
Possible.
How did you know I said that?
Because I was listening. I was listening on the radio. I was listening. I was really out of it, so I didn't.
No,
call it,
there's no way you could have heard that because this was amazingly done at a very. It was very cryptic. Let me see it. Hold on.
I thought you commented about.
No. I didn't hear it. It would have been too high for me to hear. Let me see what this is. Hold on.
I must have just telepathically heard you say it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Oh, I was getting that drop. Sorry. Sorry.
That's very good.
I know. Okay, let me see if I can get it. Boo-boo, go on. You're making me mad. Now, this is ridiculous, baby. You're just sitting there crying. Let me show...
It sounds like my cat that never stops meowing. On that little 2-minute thing I sent you, you'll hear my cat meowing in the background during the song.
Oh, I always hear your cats.
Oh, she's crazy. She wants outside. She wants to go play. So I let her out and play, and she runs around. She comes back.
Maybe it's because we talk a lot or something. Okay, now listen. It was right. I know right where it's at. Watch.
Place then say.
I know he shook hands with him, and he was like, I think, Owens.
I have driven through New Orleans.
I heard that.
No. Wait.
So you never went in and had.
Been about everywhere. I've been to San Antonio, those things along those lines.
See if it's a busy night or a quiet night. Seems like a quiet
I'm trying
night.
to remember where it was.
Yes.
Hold on, let me listen for a second. 47.
Nobody's out there bloviating. Alan Carolla were talking.
Where's Pepe?
God, no, I keep calling her Holly Stalin, but to find out.
To me, the last 4 or 5 times I've seen him.
I forgot where it was. Where was it? Ugh.
Rock and roll, baby.
Redirect notice.
No,
Is that
I
you?
forgot. I don't remember now where it was, but it was on a certain part because Victor and I sat here and we played it and we had to find it. Fufu, go. Go now. You're getting in trouble.
Maybe it was on. She's driving me crazy.
Boo-Boo's turned into quite a celebrity, I got to say.
Oh, do you want to hear the tonal sounds that I recorded that time in 2010? I got that for you and I never showed it to you.
Yes, I saw the video. I want to hear the sounds. Absolutely.
I didn't make the video. Oh, well.
You sent me a video on Twitter. Is that the one with the little purple
No.
square?
That is that's an orb that chased my daughter into another room. Okay, listen. Here they are. No, I'm serious. I'm going to play the.
No, I believe you. I'm
going to play the
like
way it
great
was recorded, and then I'm going to play you the clean copy. Here comes the first one. This is the way it was recorded.
All right.
Listen right here at the end. Doesn't it sound like somebody's going off of a walkie-talkie or like a transmission system? They go click like that.
Where did you record that from? No, I don't remember.
Behind
that
my house in the clearing that I was I was drawn to.
Was that from your cell phone or?
No, that's from a.
No, how are you recording it?
Okay, I was going to tell you that's from an ASCAM 70.
And you just happen to have that with you when you were walking around? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to figure this out. How did you happen to have that?
Remember the story. I got off the show one night and I told Victor, because we were talking about all this stuff on the show, and I said, Vic, I said, can you take me in the golf cart out to the clearing? And he goes, why? And I said, I just need to go out to the clearing. He goes, what is it? Well, Boomer, my golden retriever, jumped on the back of the golf cart. It's one of those kind that has seats that face the other way. Jumped on the back. We went out to the clearing. I can show you where we went. And I said, Victor, wait, go back and get the recorder. He ran back in the house and got the ASCAM, and he turned it on. And that was what we heard.
Wow.
And I'll never...
And I'm assuming you've heard that sound before. That was not the first time?
No, I've never heard that sound before. That was why I got so scared. We sent it to NASA down in Houston. And they looked at it for a long time. We sent it on a CD.
Okay, so that's the story that you just told me was, I'm assuming, the abbreviated version of the story that you didn't want to call in and tell on the other radio show the other night.
Yeah, but there's a little bit more to it. I mean, there was more to the story, but about...
how much can you tell exactly? I mean, I'd love to hear the whole story, but if you don't want to tell on the radio, I understand that. I've never heard the whole story.
Well, it's just... I don't know what happened. I mean, because...
As long as you say that, you're safe. You can just say, I'm going to speculate. And then
I don't know what it was.
Story.
I do not know what it was. All I know is we were talking that night on my show about we had some UFO some sky watchers on there and some paranormal guys, and they were talking to me about that 2010 was the year we made contact and all this kind of stuff, and they were saying, we can't believe you've never experienced anything like that. And I said, well, it's really weird because sometimes late at night I see these lights out behind my house in this forest, and I showed you on the map, remember?
Yes.
Behind my house is nothing.
Yes, I remember that. I totally remember.
70 acres of Indian ancient burial ground, and they won't ever.
Okay, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, because that's where the Indians were slaughtered, the Caddo Indians. Well, so one night I go out there on June the 9th of 2010. No, yes. And I just had this really weird feeling, and Victor looked at me, he goes, Debbie, are you okay? And I go, why? He goes, you look really weird. He said my face went white as a ghost, and I looked like I was going to get sick or something, and my breathing started getting really labored and everything. And the whole time he had this recorder going, but he had it up there where you keep like golf balls on a golf cart. He didn't have it like right out in their face, so it would be like they didn't know we were. So we didn't hear anything. I just felt this weird kind of a feeling, and I said, this is weird, Victor. And he goes, does it feel evil? I said, it just feels really powerful. When we go back in, we played it, that's what we heard.
So when you were out there, that sound that you played just now for me, you didn't hear it with your ears, but when you came back in...
No, but my dog heard it. I know my dog heard it.
Okay, it was at a frequency that somehow got recorded.
But here's the thing, you can't pitch it. You know, like when you pitch.
I hear you.
When you pitch something, you can pitch something up and down. You cannot pitch this noise. Let me show you what it sounds like whenever you try to pitch it. Okay, it won't pitch. It won't pitch. It just will not pitch.
On that little 2-minute thing.
Okay, where did it go? Okay, I played it right. Where is it? Right here, I think it is. Okay, now watch when I try to pitch it. Listen. Redirect notice.
Oh, I forgot. I don't.
Where did I play it at? I think maybe it's here.
I do remember you
Maybe
doing the
it's
pitching.
because
No,
we
I
talk
totally
a
remember
lot
that.
or something. Yeah, but you cannot pitch this, and that's what
No,
was.
I remember you saying
Been
that.
about everywhere. I've been to San Antonio.
Okay, I have to tell you this story real quick. This is kind of a trip. Okay, this is heavy. I mean, I'm not making any of this up.
What?
I'm not making this up. Okay, so I got this friend who I just met in the last few months. He's in Cottonwood, Arizona, which is right 15 miles away from Sedona. And he used to live in Mexico, and he's had these experiences. I'm not going to go on and on about what they were, but UFOs, ETs, and things of that nature. So he moves to Arizona, Cottonwood, and he says that where his window is in his bedroom, looking out to the mountains, that he sees these lights all the time out there. And so he thinks in his mind, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but he thinks in his mind that these lights are communicating with him. So he goes out at 3-4 o'clock in the morning sometimes with his cell phone and just records these lights and just stands out there with his camera in his hand recording these lights. And one night, a few months ago, he was out there and he was recording these lights. And he, based on the video, based on what he believes happened to him, these lights came and they kind of, I don't know if they actually abducted him, but they came in and they froze him somehow. And he was sitting there for 40 minutes. He recorded this video for 40 minutes. But he only remembers 2 minutes of it. He says that he had missing time and that somehow his cell phone recorded the whole event. Okay, so now I'm going to skip forward. So he played that video for us at that contact in the desert when we were up there a few weeks ago, and it freaked some people out, really freaked them out. He wouldn't let me record the video, but finally he trusts me now. So today he sent me a copy of the video, and this is going to freak you out. He sent me another video where these lights come in. He's on the freeway, he's driving. These lights come, this is gonna sound totally bizarre to you. These lights come in and they literally abduct 2 vehicles right off the frickin' road. They just, boom, they're gone, zap, gone. And he's got a video of that. And so he sent me the video, but I have not looked at it yet because I'm a little nervous about it, because he says when I see that video, he says it's gonna change my life forever. So in a way, I'm a little bit nervous about even watching these videos, but I don't think he's lying to me. So what would you do if you were in my shoes right now?
I don't know. I think I would watch it. I would have to out of curiosity, to be honest with you.
I have to watch it.
Absolutely. I
But
would
he
have
says
to.
that when people see these videos, he believes that there'll be no doubt that no one could ever say that it's not real. He thinks it's actual evidence. So I'm kind of tripping right now. I'm a little nervous because here's what else he said. He's got these videos. He's only going to give them out to 2 or 3 people, and I'm not trying to hype this up, but he's told me that I'm responsible, that I'm going to take a copy of one of these videos and I'm supposed to stash it somewhere so that if anything ever happens to him, I'm like one of the guys that he's going to give this video to. He wants this out. He wants to get it out. So that's a lot of responsibility. It sounds kind of wild and bizarre, but
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about, so I can't.
I mean,
really...
would you do that? Let's say I had a UFO ET video that I showed you, and you said, "Holy fuck, Eric, that's a fucking ET. That's a goddamn UFO. Oh my god, that's not CGI." And I said, "Okay, Debbie, here's the video. You hide it. Don't show it to anybody. If I die or anything happens to me, it's your job to make sure that people get to see this so they know that they're real." Then now think about it.
I don't know. I would just be so curious as to what is so great that's on it. I mean, what's the big problem? What's the big thing? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if it's a problem, but it's still denied. I mean, what, 95% of the population? Well, maybe not 95%, but at least half the population thinks it's completely ridiculous. It's just not even a possibility.
Yeah, but they also think that Oswald was the lone gunman.
Good point.
They do. I mean,
Yeah, right.
I don't want to believe what other people believe because, frankly, I think other people are stupid. I mean, it's not like it's just me. I mean, it's everybody else, not me. But you got to admit, Eric, there's some pretty goddamn stupid people out in this world.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm really.
No, you're
really...
right. It's pathetic. It's kind of scary because.
So who cares what they believe?
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't know. I'll tell you something. I mean, I'm not trying to create any kind of controversy on my behalf, but here's what's weird is I've had this phone number for years and years and years, and I've had this business, and I get calls come in on my phone. If I don't recognize the number, probably for you too, and probably most anybody else, if a call comes in on your phone and you don't recognize the number, I don't answer the call.
I don't answer. I never do.
Go to voicemail and leave me a message. If you don't have a message to leave, that means A, you got the wrong number, or B, you want to sell me something, right?
Exactly.
But lately, in the last, I would say less than the last 2 months, I'm getting these calls coming in from, I'll give you an example, New Mexico, Las Vegas.
I am too. I'm getting millions
Washington,
of them. I'm getting millions
Virginia.
of them. Millions of
It
them.
says the United States. Sometimes I'll get these calls. It doesn't say anything but United States on it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Never have I got calls like this before.
You want to see how many I'm getting? I've even blocked some of them. I'm getting area code.
I get more of those calls than I get sales
Listen
calls.
to this. This is Thursday. Area code 913, missed call. 614, missed call. 614, missed call. 224, and all it says is United States.
Mm-hmm.
And then 913, missed call. 913, missed call. I mean, it just goes 614, missed call. 978, missed call. And nobody leaves a freaking message. You
right
should
there with
see
you.
how many there are. You should see. I mean, I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There's thousands of them, seems like.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one then. I don't feel like I'm totally being targeted because I don't know what it is. Either that or they've gone on this mass computerized, sales call program that's all, I mean, it's ridiculous though. It's completely ridiculous. Anyway, it's bizarre. So,
I know. I don't know what it is. But no, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's stupid. But I get calls. I get so many, it's half the time I hear my phone ring, I don't answer it. But what I do is I have certain ringtones for people that are important to me.
There you go.
And if I hear that ringtone, you need to do that. I don't know if anybody's important to you, but...
Well,
sorry. I'm sorry, Eric.
you're funny. 'Cause I don't get
That was pretty shitty, I guess.
That was funny shit.
That
right
was
there.
pretty bad.
Well, I
I'm
got
sorry.
your number in there, so yeah.
Yeah, really. Oh my God, that's horrible.
No, I've got a large. Not trying to say I have any more friends.
You have a
than
large
anybody
what?
else. That'd be a good drop right there.
I'm sorry. Oh my
Large
God.
bunch of friends, but anyway, I get a lot of calls for business too. And anyway, I don't know. I got another phone. That's why I got that other phone, which I'm not calling you on tonight. But eventually, I'll only talk to you and like probably 15 or 20 other people on that other phone. And then this phone that I'm on now, it'll be strictly business.
Well, one thing I was going to tell everybody that I was talking about on my show one night is for some reason out of nowhere, I got on my arm these 3 dots that look like a triangle, perfect, and there's perfect circles. I even showed them to my doctor. I said, "What could that be?" And he goes, "I don't know what that is." And there's 3 of them on my left arm.
Are they still there?
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture right now and send them to
damn
you.
well better and tweet them.
I'm trying. Well, no, I'm not going to tweet them. I don't want everybody to freak out. Fufu,
Well, send a direct
go.
message to me.
How do I take a picture though with one hand? Hold on just a second. I'm trying to do this.
Whatever.
It's a perfect triangle of 3 little dots.
You're an abductee. There's no doubt about it.
But I've never been abducted. I think abductees are stupid.
Oh, you know what? It's 11:11 right now in California. I just happened to look.
Yeah,
That
I'm
number
trying
pops
to
up
do
a lot.
this.
Does that number pop up a lot for you for some reason?
No.
11:11 and 4:44.
But every time I look at the clock, it says 4:20, and I have proven it. No, I have laugh if you must, but I have proven it to everybody in my life. I said, look at the clock. What time is it? And they go, wow, it is 4:20.
It's your biological clock. It's predetermined to get the bong out about 4:19.
I don't know what it is, but it's weird.
That is trippy.
I know, it's stupid. I looked it up one time, and they said that means evil or something like that. I don't know what it means. Because who was born on 420 or what was it? What's the 420 bullshit? It's something like
4:20 is about weed. It's the time everybody.
No, but it's
okay,
Hitler. Isn't it Hitler's birthday or some shit like that?
No. You know where that came from? Okay, I used to paint houses, and when you do manual labor type work, you know you're scheduled to get off at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, but at 4:20, it's like if you're a stoner, you always kind of cut out early and got stoned right before you were officially off work. So that's where that came from. It's like 4:20s. There's even a radio show on Spreaker that's always at the very top, and it's called the 420 Radio Show. If you go in right now and look, 420 radios, 99% of the time is at the very top. They play 24/7, 420 radio.
And what do they play? I mean,
I don't even know. They talk about being stoned and
wow,
weed, and a bunch of stoner dudes get on there. And I listened to it one day. It was okay, but I don't know. These dudes were too stoned for me to listen to. I couldn't handle it. But anyway, I don't know. They've probably been around a long time, and they've got a lot of listeners because if you know, all you have to do is put 420. Like if you put on your show the Debbie 420 show, I bet you would increase your listeners. I swear to God. Do it as a marketing test.
really?
The Debbie Daily 420 hour. I'm serious. I'm not kidding around. Do like a show from like at 7:20 Eastern time, 4:20 Pacific or whatever. Come on for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You watch what happens. Just because you have the number 420 in there, you'll have every stoner on Spreaker is going to come and listen to your show. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't care about that though. Okay, I'm going to send you
What's
this.
going on? What else is happening?
Nothing. I'm trying to fix this picture to send you if I can get it to do right. I'm doing the. You know, I'm fixing the lighting and the. Okay, there it is. I don't know. It looks weird. I can't figure it out. It's just these 3 dots, and it is scared. It's the most bizarre-looking thing you've ever seen in your life. It is crazy-looking.
That's very common. I don't know if you know that.
No, that's what somebody called in and told me one time after I talked about it. They called in and said, Debbie, you know what that means? I said, no, I don't. What does it mean? And they said, it's the 3 dots is their calling card. And I said, oh, shut up. Get out of here. Shut up. I was like, what? And they were like, yeah.
The likelihood that that's a coincidence is slim and slimmer than none. I mean, I'm not trying to scare you or freak you out, but the synchronicity of those three dots appearing based on what you told me that you've seen already, and the tones that you're able to hear that most people can't hear. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing to be somebody who's an abductee or somebody that's somehow connected to some sort of an interdimensional race, because at least then maybe you got a chance.
A chance.
All those...
You got a chance. Yeah, y'all hang out.
They're going to come and get you.
Goofy Bone used to say.
The Bick and Foo-Foo's going to have to stay behind. I'm sorry, they can't go.
Goofy Bone used to tell his listeners, he said, I carry a picture of Debbie Daly around in my pocket, and that way if the rapture comes, I can show a picture and say, yeah, swear to God, and let me in because I know her. Yeah, good times. It was funny. He used to say that all the time. He said, I carry a picture of Debbie in my billfold so that do you remember in 2011 when everybody thought, or 2012, everybody thought the end of the world was going to come? Remember the rapture or something like that?
I've talked about that just with somebody a few days ago.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And Goofy Bone was scared that it was going to happen. Okay, I'm going to transfer this now so I can show it to you. I've just plugged my phone in. This is really wicked. It's crazy. It's a lot of people in my real life have seen it. But this is also my real life. I mean, this is not, people talk about life online as like a matrix. Like, hey, where did those tones go? I just recorded them. Been about everywhere. I've been to San Antonio. I've been everywhere. I'm going to have to re-record them because I
love that song. I want to hear you sing that tonight.
I know I do that all the time.
You haven't done it in a while, though. I'm kind of jonesing for it.
I know. I'm kind of it. Okay, I'm gonna record the clean copy, which is right here. It's where I took out all the white noise. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. All right, I got it. Finally. Okay.
That sounded pretty clean.
Yeah, I took all the white noise out of it. I think it's right here. Okay. Now watch when I try to pitch it down or pitch it up or pitch it whichever way. Watch. It will not pitch. And that's what freaked us out. And that's why we sent it off to NASA to say, what is going on with this? If I click on change pitch and I pitch it, let's say I pitch it up 28%. Now listen. It is always freaked us out. And nobody's ever known what it is. It's so weird. I know it's crazy, but nobody's ever understood it. There's like a voice in the very beginning of the recording, and nobody knows what it says. I've heard it 1,000 times, and I've never known what it says. Right here, listen. Wait a second. Hold on. I screwed up. Wait a minute. Okay, let me delete all of that. Oh, I hate when I work with Audacity when I'm on the air because it screws up and it just hangs and just doesn't do anything. Like right now, it's hung up, so fuck it, I don't care. Skype. Audrey sent me a picture of a doggy. How would y'all like to talk to Audrey? Let's see if Audrey will pick up. Audrey's never been on the show before since y'all have known her. She's been listening to me for a long...
Bring her on if she wants to.
I'm trying to right now. I don't know if she'll pick up or not. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. I don't know. Audrey, if you can hear me, pick up your phone. Or pick up whatever you're on. Sometimes she moves around the apartment and she doesn't really know that I'm talking to her. So what else has been going on? Has everything been quiet since you got home from the contact in the desert thingy? Are you there?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, school just got out.
Do what?
School just got out here in California like just a few weeks ago, or maybe this last week. I mean, is that what happened in Texas? Are the kids all out of school now?
Yep, they are.
So we have So it's not. It used to be where I can just work on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, but now it's during the summertime. It's every day because they're home. The kids are home. It's hot. They want to have a party, whatever, barbecue. So it's 7 days a week. So I have to get focused. I got to, you know what I mean? I got people calling, and I can't be running around partying and being a crazy fool like I was the last 6 months.
Well, you made some good money recently, though, you said, didn't you?
Yeah, it's all good. I'm happy. It'll be great. I just sock this money away, for whatever, and then it's, I'm not rich, but it's nice to be able to get a big chunk. Like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've been through that point in your life where you got chunks rolling in and you're just like, I don't even need this money, but I'm just going to stash it for one day if I need it. But if I don't need it, at least it's stashed away and I don't have to worry about it. That kind of deal.
God, I've got to show you this fucking EVP. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hang on. I'm going to see.
All right, take your time.
Hold on. I'm going to look for it. It was when he was talking about, he was reading the Dr. Phil questions to me and Jewish producer. Is this redirect notice?
They're yelling, put on dirty deeds. He doesn't want
Is there
to.
Is there any way to motivate him to get?
Stop, and then you sprint again. And
It's been porn, by the way.
I don't know. We're out there on the beach where they have the golf tournament every year.
That's so true. Most of
My brother and I.
Find it.
Oh, what the
She's
fuck was
still
her
around.
name? Because I think he's fucking amazing.
Stump. What do we know?
Withdrawal symptoms.
About this person has burned so many people. They like the reviews on it.
Of
Trip to Brazil.
poor
Yeah,
Big
right.
Debbie. I'm big
Stalin. Take my shirt off and show him some tits.
at that concert, and it's real. I can't find it. He was one of the guys that stood in the front.
Would you have dated Mick Jagger?
So, what's the best concert you ever went to?
Poroskova.
Ruth. It really did. I don't know where it is. It's like it's gone. It's not there anymore. And I know it was that. Maybe it was this show. Hold on. Let me look.
No problem.
Tweet. No. He said you drive for show and putt for getting in. He was in behind our house in his
Wait,
Jeep.
this is it.
He had
So this friend of mine, my
Pick up the phone, you numbnuts.
are strong. Does he hit?
What?
That was fun right there. That really was.
What? What do y'all
Bloviator says
Drafting
I
a
sound
letter
like
from
shit still on my phone. Is that true?
Bloviator says what?
Bloviator still says I sound I'm just translating. I sound like shit. Apparently I don't. I sound like crapola.
No, you
Am
don't.
I coming across? Okay, well he's
You
just being a
sound
dickhead.
fine. Yeah,
that's all
you
good.
sound fine.
I like the
Yeah,
bloviator.
Paul's cool.
He likes to bloviate. That's for sure.
I mean, like,
A cricket, the chirp.
say, Brian, go burn down the bathroom again. The guy fucking passed me and ran over.
Top billionaire. Climbed back and he.
I'm gonna. I own
Fuck is it?
movies.
May 20.
He's porn. I said, no, it wasn't. Listen, here's what happened.
All right, I know it's there. I know it's on this fucking show. And Mr. Midnight Movie starts reading these questions. Do you this and do you that? And Jewish producer and I started answering them. And I can't find it. I don't know where the hell it is. But I don't know. I thought it was the other show. I'm sorry, guys.
You got me so. What is it? What's that word? Flamished? Is that a word? It's a Jewish word. Is that the word flamish or something like that? When you just feel kind of discombobulated, you feel
I don't
all
know. I'm
lost.
not Jewish. I don't know.
Yeah, I learned a lot of Jewish words. I told you I was married to a Jewish woman for a little while.
I can't
Did I tell you
believe that you married a Jew. You're not supposed to marry out of their religion.
I know. I didn't know. I was still extremely dumb and naive at the time.
Oh, you were young?
Oh, but she was hot though. I gotta say, she was hot. There's never been a better one since, and never was a better one before. But she was trouble. She was a lot of trouble. More trouble than my little mind can handle. That's for sure.
Sonny said today that he was so he thought that it was strange that RD had changed as much as he's changed recently.
RD?
Yeah.
What has changed his Spreaker chat persona or what?
Yeah, he used to be so sweet, and he was like really supportive of my show and of me, and really nice about everything. And
Maybe he's addicted to dabbing too, like the rest of that crew.
I don't think so.
I'm just teasing. I'm just joking.
I don't think so. But
I got a corporate call today this afternoon.
what does that mean?
The corporation, the Monster Castle Corporation.
Corporation.
I'm being silly. I'm being
Oh.
sarcastic. There were Wolfman calls, and then of course suddenly Darren's on the call. I get along with Darren. Darren and I get along fine. We don't have any problems, but I think they were thinking I was going to bring up all this, past drama, which I did not bring up. I didn't say a single word about it, and they didn't either. And we had a nice, lovely conversation.
Good for you.
But it was kind of interesting. But I just felt like that they were waiting to see if I was going to say anything. And the whole time I'm thinking, I ain't saying shit. But it worked out. It was all good. So I think we're kind of on a good path right now. I feel good energy flowing right now. What do you
Good.
think?
I think that's fine. I like that.
Yeah,
Great.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I want to share this with you.
What?
Okay, so there's this guy that does this show that John, my Quantum Hologram Matrix Reverend Polk guy does. This guy does this YouTube show where he's live, and you can see him on the YouTube video while you're listening to the show. And then he's got John Polk live at his house, and then he's got these other graphics playing live in the background, all on his YouTube screen, which I know you can do all this stuff. I'm sure you know how.
Okay, I know. Just keep going. Keep talking. They can wait a second. You're in the middle of a thought process.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
anyway, so I told Wolfman, I said, Wolfman, you should Periscope your show live, YouTube your show live. You're going to get way more people listening. You can show your chat room live on YouTube while on video, so people can go click on Twitter and watch your show live on YouTube and see you and the chat room and your guests all at the same time. And he says, yeah, I want to do that. And I says, and then he could do his costumes. He says, yeah, I'll be the Wolfman. And then I'll put a mask on, and then I'll be Igor. And then I'll take the mask off, and I'll be the Wolfman. And so he's thinking of all these things that he can do. I'm thinking, yeah, and then we can have Debbie come on, and you could put on like a hat and some sunglasses and just be kind of incognito. But, it would just be fun, like what you were talking about a few months ago, where everybody kind of plays a little, but we can do it all live. Think about that.
I don't follow you. I don't follow you. I don't get it.
You don't follow me?
No, I didn't.
Okay, let's say you put a camera in front of you right now, hypothetically, and you just started recording live for Periscope. So anybody that's on Twitter can come and watch your show live and see you speaking. But maybe you don't want to be seen. So, like I wouldn't. I'd put on a hat or some sunglasses or whatever. So, and Wolfman's talking about doing the same thing where you're like right now, if we were having a conversation and you wanted to have the whole thing be live on YouTube or live video on Periscope, you can do that. You don't have to do it every 7 days a week, but maybe one night a week, you can say, we're going to go live.
Yeah, I've been on webcam many times on my show.
It'd be fun.
I've been
But
on
like a skit, though, where everybody kind of wears a costume and we all play a little, it would kind of add a little fun to it.
Yeah.
That's all. Are you down for that? Or you
I
want to
don't
give
care.
that a shot?
Let me know. I could care less.
Okay, we're going to put it together. You start thinking about what your little skit could be, or what your little, you could be Debbie Daly, but, you could spice it up a little bit if you want to go one way or the other, whatever. If you want to be incognito and you don't want to be, like, all plastered all over the universe, that's cool.
No, I've been on webcam. You just don't know me. You haven't been around long enough. I've been on webcam on shows before. I've done live webcam shows. It's funny. We laugh our asses off.
And you know what? I saw this black lady on Periscope last week, and her whole gimmick was they were doing live prank calls on Periscope. And so she's there and she's got the camera on her, and then she's got her little kids. You could tell they're not 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. You can just tell. They go, Mama, call this number. Tell them this. Tell them you want a pizza with poop on it. I was just like, what? And so they were playing along, doing a little skit on Periscope, and it was funny as shit. So, we could even do that. We could do prank calls.
Yeah,
Also
but
fun.
prank calls aren't that fun. And whenever you do them with Wolfman has a big presence on a show, and it's hard to get around his presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. The crank calls are tough. Somebody has to be in charge, and I mean, truthfully, you should be in charge. Just because you have a better way of kind of keeping things managed and kind of in check. And I mean, everybody's got their own little talents, but someone's got to be in charge. And if it's going to get done right, you would need to be in charge, from my perspective.
Have you heard?
That's what I'm telling you right now.
Have you heard how crappy those Discord shows that they're doing on Wolfman's show sound?
I've been banned from all Discord chat rooms. I'm serious.
No, I didn't say that. Have you heard the Discord?
I can't.
Have you heard the Discord
Nope, I won't
shows?
listen to it. I won't
No,
even
listen to me. Just listen to me for a second.
Okay. All right.
Have you heard the Discord shows that he's doing and the noise?
No, I've not heard a single one. I
They're not.
I don't know what it is.
No.
I
Listen
just
to me.
will
They're not.
go there.
No, they're not talking about me. Just get off that subject.
Okay,
All I'm
all right,
talking
all right.
about is how horrible the sound quality is with all those people making all that noise.
Oh,
Hold
I've
on,
heard that.
guys.
I've heard
Hold on,
that.
guys. You know what I mean? Everybody's
Yeah, I
like,
know what you mean.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just like nobody mute. Hold on, everybody. Okay, I got you. Hold on, I got to ring in two people. Let me ring in Dr. Bree,
All right, go for it. Go for it. The
You're
doctor.
ringing-
Bring in the doctor.
Dr. B, and we ring in Sunny too.
Oh, Sonny, my buddy. I like Sonny. He's a good man.
Yeah, he's good.
No, he's really good.
Dr. Bristol,
Hey, Debbie.
hey, what's up? And Lester Bartholomew Jones, how are you?
I'm peachy.
Gentlemen,
Gentle people.
welcome to the party.
Hey,
What?
Eric.
What's happening, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Just a lot of crazy stuff happened in the last 24 hours, so I was enjoying sharing it with Debbie. But
Yeah, I was listening. How about you, Dr. B? How are you?
Hey, doing pretty good, Sonny. How about you?
Good. You know, all these numbers, it's like these sales companies use like an ID spoofer or whatever they're doing, because you can block one number and the same goddamn thing will come through trying to sell you an extended warranty on your car, or tell you you've qualified for student loan forgiveness or whatever. I'm just sick of it all.
or they want to update your website, or
Yeah,
or collect
yeah.
tax, or they want to collect taxes.
Right. Well, I got one today. I was in the parking lot of a store that I went into, and I was fixing to pull out, and this phone call comes through, and I hate it when people hide their number. And this was one of those deals. And I said, I just answered the phone. What the fuck do you want? Because I just hate that when people do that.
Oh,
No. Yeah.
What the
So-
fuck do you want?
So yeah, but there was nobody on there. It was our records indicate that you qualify for student loan forgiveness. Fuck you. I graduated from college without any loans.
Oh,
What
shit.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
I graduated
Jesus.
from college without any loans, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'd be, ticked off had I received a call like that.
Well, I get them all the time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite ones, Debbie, that you get?
I don't answer any incoming calls.
Oh, okay.
I don't, but we could call some of these numbers and see who they are, because I've got about 25 of them I've gotten in the last 2 days.
You're gonna
Yeah, let's
find
call
out
up
that
you.
there's a lot of them that if you call them back, it'll say to be or to have your number removed from the our list or whatever, and I don't know. It's just insane.
We'll call
But you know what? You
somebody
can
in
think-
Columbus, Ohio.
you guys-
Let's see who this is.
You guys can thank your wireless carrier because they sell your shit. I don't care what.
Oh, yeah,
anybody
big
says.
time.
For options in English, press 1.
Okay, I know who that is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
You
listening.
know what? I think that selling of our information, all that shit started happening more in the last few years. It wasn't going down like this a few years ago. It's
Well,
really gotten worse.
Yeah, I think it's going to get worse because even though I support him, I think Trump signed off on that deal, allowing them to do whatever they wanted to do with our information, and that's one thing I'm really upset about that he's done.
Yeah.
Or I say he's done. You know, it was done during his administration. Who knows? I don't know who really caused it to happen. I just think it's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so remember Obama in the beginning of his presidency? You guys will remember this. I remember quite clearly that he had a certain agenda, and he was getting a lot of flack, and they were not agreeing with him. Do you guys remember that? He was trying to get shit passed, and they just were not going along, and he was just stonewalling them hard. But now it seems like Trump, he's like, okay, I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna give that, I'm gonna give this, but then you guys got to give me this, this, and this. So he's more into bargaining, where Obama just seemed to be more hardcore. They didn't give Obama shit. Obama didn't get shit for that, though. I don't understand why not.
Yeah.
Double standards. That's
well, I think part of it is that if you gave Obama a lot of shit, the left was ready for the racist card on anybody that really challenged him on anything. I think the left was ready. If you would have been a Republican congressman and you butted up against him and did speeches about it and all of this, then I think you would have been labeled as a racist by the left. I really believe that.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, well, let's just pretend that he was allowed to be president, that they were able to get their whole agenda, whoever they are. They knew that through Obama, because he was smooth. That guy was a hell of a speaker. I'll give him that. He was one hell of a speaker.
I agree.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know if we've had a better speaker, I mean, in 20, 30 years.
Speaking of Obama and prank phone calls, you want to hear the one that went down in history as one of the greatest things that was ever that was ever done by Anonymous when they trolled the FBI?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is really funny, and he pretends to be Obama.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, it's excellent. It's absolutely.
I haven't heard this.
It's amazing. It's truly amazing. But I have to look it up one other way. Hold on. God, they've gotten so weird on YouTube, the way you find stuff. It's really weird. Do y'all remember? Okay, you ready? This is Lulzsec. We all know who Lulzsec is. They called the FBI in 2011, and it's really funny. Take a listen. Okay?
Just 1 minute.
All right.
One moment, ma'am.
Okay.
SWATnet. Botnet. Pikachu packet. Aurora Borealis. The FBI is closed until further notice. Please direct your Flame botnet at our DNS servers.
This is Ryan, the guy that called in on my show that night, Ryan King from Lulzsec.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and close that call. And call them back. We have to report the botnet.
The FBI is closed. Bullshit.
You have reached the FBI's major case contact center. The purpose of this line is to receive...
You want to hear a prank call? Listen to this.
Good morning, FBI Washington Field Office.
Yes, hello. Who am I speaking with?
This is the FBI.
We have a very serious issue here. A self-replicating Flame botnet has been detected in Sector Alpha. It's utilizing an MSRPC exploit, 03026. I need you to forward that to all directorates right now.
Where are you located?
Botnet.
I'm sorry?
Botnet.
Where's that?
Ma'am, listen to me. I need to be forwarded to Dan Siebels.
Dan Siebels?
Dan Siebels.
How do you spell that?
Get it? Dan Siebels?
S-I-E-B-E-L-S. He's my main clandestine operative handler.
He
handles clandestine operations both domestic and abroad for the Flame botnet. This is malware that we've actually been reverse engineering for about 2 years now.
Dan Siebels?
Dan Siebels. He's got a bulletproof plaque on his desk, blue sight. He likes to go fishing. He drinks Sprite. I know he's there.
Okay, does he work in Washington, D.C.?
He should be working at your yes. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the off code here. Swatting it. Swatting it. 1 moment, ma'am.
Okay.
Listen to this idiot woman just sitting there going, okay.
All right, I'd like to give you the authentication code for Washington.field. It's MTH AD TG05 891 $sign A ampersand percent Washington.field.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
I just wrote that down.
Red Shield 5.
Red Shield.
What did it say, Debbie?
MT had
This
to
is in
go.
reference to Red Shield 5, Flame Net.
That's good stuff. Oh my God.
Propagate this warning to all agents. Forward this to the upper tier protocols. Red Shield 5.
Okay, what does that mean?
They will know what that means.
And what is your name? Where are you calling from?
Red Shield 5. Just forward that.
Who am I forwarding this to?
The upper echelon.
Fucker. He got that from me.
I need a little bit more details, sir.
That's one of the
Details
greatest prank calls I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking
Now,
funny. Man.
Wild Goose did one time. Wild Goose called the 911 museum. It's excellent. It is so freaking funny. And Goose does this. It's short. Goose does this amazing. Who's the guy that I'm former Marine and governor of the state of?
Jesse Ventura.
Yes, listen to Goose do. Listen to Goose do Jesse Ventura.
I remember that. That's great. It is good.
On this prank call.
Thank you for calling the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. For information about visiting the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, please press 1.
Wait till you hear him say you've done an excellent job at something tragedy. What is the word? Exploiting tragedy. Watch when he says.
Yeah.
For information about our museum membership program, press 2. For information on how to contribute to the museum's collection, press 3. For the Memorial and Museum administrative offices, press 4.
Wait while I transfer your call.
Memorial.
Hello, this is former governor of Minnesota and Navy SEAL Jesse Ventura. I just want to commend you on a job well done.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Is there anyone in particular you'd like to speak to?
I'd like to speak to you, of course. You've done a great job commercializing tragedy. What's your position there?
I'm the receptionist.
Very good, very good. And you know, I know there's been a lot of controversy in the media about the 9/11 museum. How do you feel about that? Because I for one support the 9/11 museum because I was there personally when it happened. I watched the unmanned drones fly into the World Trade Centers. I walked through the rubble with Governor Pataki after the World Trade Centers collapsed. So I believe, we need to do our part to honor the fallen on 9/11. How do you feel about the controversy with the gift shop?
I can't really comment on that. I'm sorry.
Fair enough, ma'am. So what kind of products do you have there at the 9/11 Museum gift shop?
Hold on a moment.
Sure.
Hi, Mr. Ventura. I'm so sorry about that. I just have a lot of calls
Oh,
coming
no
in.
problem. It's probably my NSA handlers.
As for the items, at the store and our retail spaces, you could actually see what we have on our website.
Very good,
there's
very
a
good.
memorial store on the website.
Cool. And now, what's the URL for this website?
911memorial.org.
911memorial.org. I have a website,
yes.
too. It's called JesseVenturaIsTheTruth.com. You might want to check it out sometime.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
So how do you feel about the mosque that's being built right across from Ground Zero?
I can't comment on that. I'm sorry.
Because I don't understand what the controversy is over a mosque being built when everybody knows that the Muslims didn't do 9/11. Everybody knows that it was the Jews.
I don't know anything about that controversy per se, sir. I'm very sorry.
I think you're stonewalling me. Could you put me in touch with reservations?
I'll transfer you over. Hold on.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling the 9/11 Memorial Museum.
You bitch.
We are currently experiencing heavy...
There you go. That's Goose making a phony phone call to the 911 Memorial Museum. I said he should have said, what do y'all have? Little statues of falling men and jumpers and what do y'all have, like little thing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was so funny. What would they have there at the 911 Memorial Museum, at the gift shop? What would they have?
Mm-hmm.
Little things of dust. You know, I mean,
maybe. Yeah.
Think about how stupid it is. You know, that he was trolling them with. I think he had a great idea, and then he did this on my show one night. Listen to this, Eric.
Welcome. This is ex-governor and Navy SEAL Jesse Ventura. This is Debbie After Dark, hosted by Debbie Daly.
There you go. I used to do a show called Debbie After Dark. This should be a Debbie After Dark because it's so late when I came on tonight. Are y'all still there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you think that was funny or anything, Eric?
It was funny as fuck. I was laughing, and Bloviator was insulting me in the chat room and even told me that I'm an asshole and I'm a dickhead, which I'm starting to question my
You're
whole...
not going to get any sympathy out of me. How does it feel? Yeah. Get you some, Eric, baby. Wait till a whole chat room turns on you, bitch.
He's the only one. I'll let him slide. He's the only one though.
Hurts, don't it? Just like Wyatt Earp said, hurts.
Yeah, believe me. I thought about that. I thought, you know what?
That's why I don't let any of you motherfuckers tell me not to feel this way or to ignore it until it happens to you. Then we'll talk.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. I don't like to go there, but I tried to put myself in your position, and I thought, that would bother me too. I mean, I got to admit it. And you know what? Being a woman, you're a woman, and that's a beautiful thing. But I know, man, we can be assholes. We can be dickheads. I get that. We're harsh. We're rude. You're more sensitive, and guys they forget that sometimes. And
they don't know who they're dealing with, do they, Audrey? Yeah, buddy. They don't know who we're dealing with. Oh, look.
I see. Ronald made a comment. He said crank calls on 911. That's juvenile and evil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hi, JD.
Speaking of evil, did you hear about the FBI prank call during one of the episodes of TCR before Ghost left?
Mm-mm.
Oh man,
I think I've only listened ever to 2 shows of Ghost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just not as familiar as y'all may be with him.
Yeah, that prank call I sent here in the chat and Skype. Yeah, that's a hilarious prank call that I heard. I mean, I swear, I'm like laughing my butt off. I laugh to my sides as hard as I can. Oh my gosh. Woo.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, remember what I was telling you today, Sonny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there he is. He's just there spying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about something else.
No.
I got it. I'm looking in here. I see what you're typing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in there. Just
There's still one lingering.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about one or two. It's when you got a whole slew of them, then that kind of creates an issue.
I've been there before. Been a long time ago, but I've been there before.
So is the sky clear in Texas tonight? Because in California, I'm out here standing there. I'm seeing like an abundance of stars in the sky tonight.
Is it sunny?
An abundance.
It's sort of clear, but then again, this weekend we're supposed to be up there around 100 degrees. So go figure.
It was 99 today.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's insane, this fucking heat.
Oh, 99.
Can you imagine what? And our heat index was like 106 or 107. So there you go.
And you have humidity there too, don't you?
Oh, we have just a whole goddamn ass load of humidity. I'm trying to figure out how we have so much humidity stuck in the middle of Texas.
I don't know. That's bizarre. It sounds like global warming to me.
Or the government HARP from Alaska.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Hey, I had this girl this week try to catfish me that was in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah, on Twitter. Yeah, but it's the third time this has happened where I know this. I can't say for a 100% fact, but based on my experience and knowledge on how things work, I get tested sometimes. I get these girls come in, and I don't even know if they're really even humans. They could be bots.
Did you ask her to show you her mustache?
She was kind of flirting with me, but I wasn't flirting because she looked to be really young. So I said, "What are you about?" I said, "What are you, like 19?" And she said, "No." And then I says, "Well, I'm old enough to be your dad." And then that was the end of it after that, because I just felt like I was getting set up.
Oh, Chris Hansen. Oh,
yeah, I was getting set. Someone was trying to set. I just felt like I was getting set up. So I said, "Just be careful." I said, "Be careful out there." And that was the end of that. There's a lot of that. That's the thing. You guys, I know, Sonny, you don't do Twitter too much, but if you guys, and Debbie doesn't do Twitter a lot either, but if you guys, that's the only thing I do. I don't do Facebook or anything else. But when you're on a social media site, you get targeted after a while. That's just how it happens. People try to, I don't know who it is or how it happens, but they come after you. They test you. They try to find out what's going on.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of strange.
So you think that chick was some kind of like law enforcement setup or what?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. But the thing is like on Periscope, for example, if you ever go on Periscope, it's kind of sickening, but you see a lot of young people, guys and girls, that are on Periscope.
There is no way I would ever go on. Since you told me that, there's no way I'd ever go on there.
Yeah, you don't want to, because
no.
There's kids on there doing bong hits. There's kids, just crazy stuff happening. And
you mean like minors?
Minors, yeah, minors doing stuff that if I was the mother or father, and I knew my child was doing some of the things that these kids are doing on live. I mean, I'll give you an example. Let's say you got some kid on there, and all of a sudden she's doing something that's kind of semi-sexual, and she has no business doing that. And she's got 954 live viewers all tweeting at her at the same time, telling her to take her top off. They want to see this. I mean, every one of them's a pervert.
How old do you think she was?
Oh, these girls are not. They are not 18 years of age. I can
See,
tell you that
that's
right now.
What the fuck would cause anybody to do that? To get in? I'm not talking about the girl that did it. What would cause any guy, if he can see that, and if there's a question about her age, why would he still be there?
There's some sick fuckers out there. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
So they have this thing on Periscope though, where you can report it. You click on this little button if you think there's there's something weird going on. I think they call it abuse. If you suspect abuse, you click this button, And then they have moderators that go and look at the chat and they look at the live feed. And if there's some funny business going on, they just cut the feed right off.
I don't see how they can do that, though. You know what I'm saying?
do it.
When I say no, but I'm saying, though, with the way that people are today, everybody turning everybody in. I love the way that people talk horrible about snitches, yet they'll call in and cause somebody a problem like that. And in my book, they're the snitch. They're the person that I don't even know why anybody would want to be on there with that.
Yeah, it's like the devil's den is what I call it.
I wouldn't be on there.
No, but then there's another part of it where there's interest. Just like any social media site, you can find interesting things. Like there's people that are broadcasting live from Waikiki Beach or from Germany, or maybe they're in San Francisco and they're on the Golden Gate Bridge. And I mean, you can see things that you wouldn't normally see, or you wouldn't, people on vacations.
Yeah.
So if you go there, it's just that most of it's just being, it's crazy. It's I don't see that whole Periscope thing lasting too long. It's just too out of control.
Yeah, Donald Trump might come in and shut down that website with the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, in charge.
Did you guys see Sessions talk the other day? I watched that.
I thought he handled himself pretty well.
He did. I love that guy. I'd say this, and this is not to stroke you, Sonny, but there's nothing like a Southern gentleman, who knows how to speak.
Yeah.
Man,
I get it.
He was telling those young guys, basically, you're not going to trick me. You're not going to trick me, so don't even try. But if you want to try, go ahead.
Well, I really liked it when he turned right back at him and said, I really resent that. Basically, he was saying, fuck you. You're not going to get me. Man, he was smooth.
He was smooth. And then, when they try to ask him personal questions, then he picked, I don't know what he called it, he had some sort of right, he believed, where he did not have to disclose private conversations with Mr. Trump based on some sort of a protection clause that I'm not sure what even exists. But he claimed it. And what he said was basically, if you guys want to interview me in a private, closed session, then we could talk about these things possibly. But I'm not talking to you about these things live on the air with all of America watching.
Right.
But that doesn't mean he's lying. That just means he's doing his job.
Well, and there's some things that we as the general public, we don't even need to know.
No, exactly. We don't need to know. Not at this point.
It's
not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. What about Debbie? What do you think about all this? Have you ever seen any of that kind of stuff going on?
You mean cam whores?
Anything that we just talked about in the last episode.
You were just talking about cam whores on okay, say it again. You're talking about cam whores on Twitter and on Periscope, right? Those little girls. Are you there? Hello?
I think he lost his connection.
Oh, well, anyway, is that what he was talking about? Right?
I think so. Yeah, he was just in general. He was talking about that, and then he got to talking about Jeff Sessions, and we were talking about how well we thought Sessions did in his testimony, and I thought he did really well. I thought he handled himself the way he should have.
I have something to say to y'all. I don't know anything about that. Whatever. But here's what I'm saying. I didn't. You even told me what happened with people shooting all the senators and stuff today.
Yeah.
In Alexandria, Virginia. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
And that's really sad.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to start a civil war between Donald Trump and the globalists here in the United States. At least according to Alex Jones.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's what's going on, but I just know that this world is fucked up right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
isn't it odd that the tower in London didn't collapse?
It sure is, isn't it? And that fucker burnt like that was a horrendous fire.
Stood straight up during the whole thing. It didn't go boom, 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 boom.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
How many people did they say ended up dying in that? Do they know yet, or have they got an official count?
I think it's 12 at this point, but it's expected to rise in the coming weeks.
Right, because they've got a lot of people still missing, right?
That, plus the dead yet to be accounted for.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. It's going to be interesting to find out how that got started, unless they already know. And I have been so out of pocket. I heard about that today, and then about the shooting and stuff, but I didn't hear much about the fire, but I did see it on the news a little bit. So
yeah,
that whole building was engulfed.
Oh man, it's like a towering infernal. It's 24 stories tall. That Grenfell Tower.
Right.
It stood
and
the
see,
test
that's what
of
Debbie
time.
was saying.
Stood straight up, didn't fall.
Straight up, it didn't fall, and it just stood there. And it wasn't, what she was in reference to was the way that the towers fell, like it was an implosion, and it was just like a demolition explosion in my book.
I see.
I think there was a lot more to that than we know. That's all I know there's everybody's got different views on it. It's just more than a lot of times than I even just want to deal with, because there's some things that we're just never really going to understand. I know there's people going to say that they got it all figured out and all of that sort of stuff, and that's great. Maybe they're just smarter than I am. I don't know.
Why would Eric be calling back in? He's on the call, isn't he?
No, you're trying.
He just needs to pick back up on the call, though. When you're on the call, see where it says Eric Johnson. All you do is you just go rejoin call.
Right click and it'll say join conversation or whatever. Or
I can
rejoin.
add him again, but he's already on the call.
He's on his phone.
Right.
Yeah. All these shootings and all these things happen all because Donald Trump was the president in the first place. How ridiculous.
I think I have an I told you moment coming, boys, and I think we all know what it is, and you're all just dreading it, and you're just dodging the topic.
What is what topic are we missing?
Oh my God!
I told you that Trump didn't do anything with fucking Russia. Eh?
Oh, I'm not going to even go there, because I'm not so sure. Listen, I'm for Trump, but I'm not just going to blindly say that nothing is going on until I know.
Well, did you not hear? Did you not hear what Comey said?
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
Comey said that he wasn't under investigation, and then today they announced that he was a target of investigation now. So, I don't know. But I hate it that he is. We don't need this kind of problem. I know a lot of people look at this and they just like all the turmoil and everything that goes on. But I'm going to tell you, we need to come together as a country. We need to support our president. If he wasn't your guy for the election, that's fine. But let's all come together as a country. But we're going to be able to do nothing while we sit here and continue this divide. The left is going to continually never be able to get over the fact that they fucking lost a slam dunk this last time. And so and Trump is acting like an immature kid. I get all of that. I just wish Trump would learn to be quiet and not say all these wild things that's causing this to get worse. For him.
I said the other day, what they need to do is take him down to his bottom floor and say, all right, look, we're going to let you do this president thing, but stay off the fucking microphones and don't say anything. We're going to tell you everything to say, you fucking idiot. Just somebody in there has got to be able to say, look, you talk like a freaking buffoon.
I absolutely agree. And then if he will just look, this guy has got such a fucking ego that he needs to run the country. He's got some really good ideas. I think the problem is when he's wanting to drain the swamp, he needs to drain his own goddamn administration and get rid of all of these idiots.
That's right.
Every bit of this is not just the problem of the other side. These liberals are insane with the stuff that they're coming out with, trying to come at him. But by the same token, he needs to quit feeding them. This response every time he gets his feelings hurt is becoming sickening. I'll bet you that there's not a president in history that has been on television as much in his first 100 days as Donald Trump.
Wow, history in the making, folks.
I'm saying that as my own opinion.
It's certainly not anybody else's opinion but you, sweetie. Don't worry about it.
Well, hold on. I might agree with Sonny. Repeat what you said again. Just the last 100 days.
He's not paying attention.
Anybody, right? Is that what you said, basically?
I said that in his first 100 days, I doubt there's a president in our history that has made as many public speeches and made sure that he's in the news as often. Every day it's a new thing. And I know a lot of this is coming from the left. But I really think if he'd just kind of, I don't know. I just wish he'd just ignore him.
Yeah.
But you hit it earlier when you said ego. I mean, I can't. In my lifetime, we've never had a president that had an ego like this. Not even close. Not even close.
I agree.
Yeah. I heard that Donald Trump. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's good and bad. Like what Sonny's saying is, at some point he's got to grow up and just learn how to lay low a little bit. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I just think that he's on the juice. He's on something. He's all fired up every day. He's on Twitter. It kind of blows my mind.
How would you like to be his press secretary? You're out there fielding all of this stuff Sean Spicer's by the time this is over with, this guy's going to be in a rubber fucking room writing his name in shit on the walls. I mean, this guy's going to go nuts.
Oh, man. His opponents accusing him of lying about the inauguration, for example, being the most viewed event ever. I mean, what's going on, man?
I don't know. I just think that we really need to come together as a country. I really believe that, and maybe we can't. I don't know, but it's going to be bad for us. I hear these people saying, "Well, we've got a revolution coming." We haven't got enough people in this. There's no way.
No way. You're exactly right.
There is no way.
It's
a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream to think that the young generation is going to stand up, because they are so dumbed down and they are so stoned and they are so in the rap mentality that they're gone. I mean, there's probably just a handful at best. I'm not trying to be negative. That's reality.
Most idiots. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And that's why I made that comment about Periscope. Actually, this is, I'm not really in touch with the younger generation, but just kind of trolling through Periscope and seeing what young people are talking about and what they're interested in. Oh man, I mean, you guys, Mr. B, Dr. B, I mean, you're still a young man, but Sonny and I and Debbie, we're several generations down the road, but what's happening with your society, we need people like you, Dr. B, and to help, because otherwise it ain't going to change. That's just my perspective.
Yeah, and it's grounded in reality. I do see a need for people like myself to lead others. That's troubling in our society, in this generation, because people are apathetic when it comes to political participation, civic engagement. Dadgummit. Had they wise up from the beginning, then we might have something like more changes coming underway. Like, say, if we want, say, Florida to get rid of human traffickers, then people really need to do their part, get politically active, in order to, say, get a law passed, or perhaps convince Donald Trump to intervene in the situation, to get rid of these sick, mother effers out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But I think that this whole thing is more serious than a lot of people are just looking at this for the entertainment value. And there's nothing entertaining about watching our country be in the turmoil that it's in. I just don't even get why anybody would consider that entertaining.
Me neither.
At all.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. And this whole idea that the Russians haven't played a part in doing anything. These guys are our mortal enemies. If Trump wants to try to get along with them, fine, but go try to get this thing worked out and quit letting it drag out. But then again, it's hard for him to kind of go and make a bunch of contact with them because everybody's going to say that he's colluding with them. So I don't know. I honestly don't know.
And then, this is conspiracy theory, but a lot of this could be theater. I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, they're not stupid people. Even though they make bad choices, a lot of times they're not unintelligent. And so you got to figure these guys are in the room, in the back room, and they're talking about these things, and they know where their dollar is going. And if they want that dollar to keep going that way, they need to kind of somehow figure it out and then present that to us, the public. But I don't think we're getting the whole truth. That's what I'm trying to say.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But I just think that we have an opportunity here to, and the people that are liberal, they have a right to every one of their opinions, just like I do, or you do, or anybody else does. They have a right to their opinion. I just think there has to come a time to where we say, okay, look, I tell you what, we'll just let's all get together for the sake of the country. But people are just so partisan. I just don't get it, and they want to draw this line in the sand, and everybody wants to stand firm, and I don't get it. And I truthfully believe
Read the Bible.
That
it's all supposed to happen.
I'm sorry?
It's happening in perfect timing, and it's supposed to happen like this. Brother will turn against brother. Families will. It'll be destruction. It's what's happening. It's all happening, right, Dr.
It
D?
is all happening. I agree.
You're talking about Bible prophecies, right, Debbie?
Yes, I am.
Book of Revelations.
These are end times we live in. And it's all happening.
These are just signs, and the end times are close, depending on a lot of things. But only God knows when the end will come.
Right. I knew that, but I'm just saying, yeah, it's going to get a lot. I went and made a salad. Did y'all even know I was gone?
We kept pausing, waiting for you to jump in, and then you were gone, so we just kept blabbing along.
I said, nobody's talking to me. I'm going to go make a salad in the kitchen. It's all I can eat is salad. I'm losing so much weight. My pants are falling off. They used to fit really good.
Debbie, are you about 5'6",
right?
5'7"? How tall are you, Debbie?
5'4". Did you say 5'7"? Did you say 5'7"?
5'6" or 5'7"? I don't know. 5'4".
You should also believe that I'm
What do you
how
like?
old am I?
Are you 30? Are you 30-inch jeans, or what do you wear jeans? What's your jean length?
Size 6. You mean length?
29, 30. If you had 501 jeans on, what would you be wearing?
29, 34. I get the real long jeans because I like them really, really long, and sometimes I walk on them. Most of the time I walk on them. They're real hard to find. You can only find them at Macy's. Me and Steven were the same. Me and Steven were the same size.
Did you know that Macy's has some of the best prices on Levi's?
Yep,
anywhere?
That's why I buy them there.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite jeans that I wear are these. You should probably also have been told that I'm what? How old am I now, Sonny? I'm 60, 65 or something?
I think you're 65 or 66 now.
65 or 60. The last I heard was, I read the other day in the chat room, I was 59. I was going, what the fuck? Okay. if you go to, no, what I was going to say, my favorite jeans are, they're vintage high-waist jeans from the 80s that you can buy on eBay and stuff.
Right.
Anyway, do y'all wear jeans or?
Are those the same jeans they wear on Saturday Night Live? They make those commercials about women with like mom jeans that are like way up there, kind of covering like whip their belly.
That's what they look like, mom jeans.
I don't believe you.
Do I sound like the kind of person that would wear mom jeans? Do I sound like the kind of person that would wear mom jeans? No. You want to?
You're breaking up, Eric, really bad.
Okay, sorry about that. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. I had to put the charger on for a second.
No, let me show you what I'm talking about. You don't watch my screen on Skype if you can see it, okay? You apparently don't know what vintage, high waist, and I'm just going to put in exactly what I said to you. Watch. This is what we're talking about here. Okay, wait a minute. Are you ready?
I'm looking.
Hank, go on. You don't want this salad. Okay, move out of the way, Hank. Vintage, high waist, jeans.
Jeans, yeah. Shorts.
Now, hold on just a second. And you cut them off? Hold on, let me show you.
Well, those Wranglers look kind of cute, though.
Like, no, not those. Those are Armani.
You know, that's a Texas thing, I think, is what it is.
See the little Levi thing right there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can find.
Yeah, that's a Texas jean. In California, I'm not putting down Texas. Actually, probably Texas has better women than California, but the women in California, there's not a single woman in California wearing those jeans. I'm just letting you know.
I know this though, Eric. California is one of the biggest market for Levi 501s and all kinds of vintage jeans. I guarantee you. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. We got a 501 Levi. What do they call those strip malls where they sell them at a discount? I don't even know what they're called. Yeah, they're all over the place.
This is what I cut.
I like that girl with the sweater on Urban Outfitters with a little big.
I'm listening. I have all of these cut off. Like this. This is what I'm talking about. You cut them off. I didn't get to finish. You cut them off.
Okay.
You cut them 3 inches here, and you take them all the way up to almost that right there, and then you fray them.
Ooh. Oh shit.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are all. That's what Heather and I have. We have thousands of pairs that we fight over.
Okay, so check this out. You know that part where if you were wearing a belt and you were putting a belt through that little area, that little 2 or 3 inch area right there where the label is? Picture this. Take some scissors, cut that whole section out all the way across where you couldn't even wear a belt if you wanted to. So that's how they wear them over here in California. They just cut that shit right off.
Cut what out?
Fried on both ends.
Cut this out right
here?
here?
Cut the belt part off. That little section that's kind of sticking up above the upper part of the bosoms.
You can also roll them down.
Yeah, that's true.
I do that a lot.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that one you've got, you had one up in your screen just now.
What about it?
And I think that was the best looking ass on all of these that I've seen so far.
Oh, Wheeler Walker special, folks.
Oh my God, that one was hot. Did you see that?
You can buy them at eBay. You can get them at eBay. But I've got a million pair because Victor had all of these that I stole. And we sewed them up. And you can sew them up down the side right there. And you can make them tighter if they're too loose. You can turn them inside out and go and take a line and go right down and make them tighter.
Really?
Yeah. Why?
No, I didn't know anybody.
Why?
Now, do those look like mom jeans, Eric?
No, those are cute. No, those are very cute.
If they're all vintage.
Full length jeans that they had where they kind of go up, they would go literally past the belly button. That's a tough one to deal with right there for me personally.
So
if your jeans after belly button, I'm not excited about that.
So let me ask you though, you're saying that they go to that waistband and cut it off?
Yes.
So how do they button it up?
They're just using the zipper.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay. They turn the zipper and they turn it down and it kind of holds, but if it happens to unzip a little bit, they don't care. That just means that you're that much closer down to the private area. Yeah, well, they don't give a shit as long as the guys are looking at them. That's all they care about.
So if they come open, you're just that much closer to the honey hole.
The honey hole? Oh my god. The honey hole? Oh my god. What?
Oh, yeah, the honey hole.
Oh, that's stupid.
That was pretty funny.
It was funny though. I like the term honey hole though. Wasn't there like what they called the honey trap when they're setting up a little sting on people? That where they use the woman to kind of entrap people? Did they do that when you in your line of work? I mean, I'm assuming they had agents.
No, I worked for the DEA, so all we worried about was drugs. We didn't worry about setting up Johns and all of that.
Do you think that they had females in the DEA though? I mean, I'm wondering if they were.
Oh, I know they had lots of females that worked undercover in the DEA. In fact, I worked in conjunction with one several times.
That's pretty cool. So I mean, you don't. I'm not trying to ask you any questions that you're not.
No, that's fine. No, you're fine. I'm
But
not
I
going
mean,
to think.
you guys ever I'm picturing this in my mind where you knew this. You would be hanging out with this woman, but you would pretend as though you didn't really know her that well, and then that would be part of the whole.
Well, or we presented ourselves as a couple that was into
Exactly.
finance
That's
drug deals. Yeah.
There you go. That sounds kind of fun. What was that movie? I can't remember that.
Mr. and
movie.
Mrs.
Bonnie and
Smith.
Clyde? Yeah, there you go. Something like that.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
There's a movie with Jason Patric, and I think it was really close to somebody that went undercover, and it's a really good story. It's about somebody that went undercover and they stayed too long, and they got all strung out and became a rogue, whatever. And it was Jason Patric and what was that chick's name? I don't remember her name, but I don't remember the name of the movie. It was where they did an undercover thing,
Donnie
and
Brasco?
they were actually
Was
a
it Donnie
couple.
Brasco?
No, not Donnie Brasco. The star of that movie was Jason Patric. It was, what was that? I'll find out.
How old is it approximately?
It's pretty old. I want to say that was back in the 90s or late 80s or something. But it was a movie that when it came out, there was a lot of people that was in the work that I was in that was real interested in that movie. It was, because they always had ideas about what the guys that worked undercover really got into, and everybody thought it was this, just nothing but fun, and and some of it you got it. I've said before, there was times that I think I stayed a little too long in some of that because I really started enjoying the lifestyle after a while.
So you said the late 80s and 90s?
Yeah, Jason Patric. I think that's. Let me see if I.
Debbie
can
probably wouldn't have remembered that because I think she was in high school at that time, so she wouldn't probably remember that.
Why is it always about my fucking age with you guys?
It is fucking with you,
man.
The fuck? I'm eating my
We
salad.
love you, Debbie. We love you.
I don't
We
give a
care.
fuck.
We love you.
I've never given a
fuck
fuck.
you. Teasing you. I'm teasing.
Let's see, Jason Patric. I'll know that movie when I see the name of it. Well, he was in a lot of movies.
Why don't you put in undercover or a word like that, not just Jason
Yeah, that's what I'm
Patric?
trying. I'm trying. I put in Jason
You know what?
Patric
I am
movies.
a Google expert. You want to watch how fast I can find it?
Yep.
I'm shocked you haven't already told us.
There's the Alamo in 2004.
I'm sorry, what? Eric?
I'm shocked you haven't already told us because you're so fast. It's like you could figure this shit out like literally in less than 10
Because
seconds
I'm
if you
eating
want to.
I'm eating salad.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, I knew there was something going on.
Yeah.
What are you eating anyway?
It has got kale.
Oh, here it is.
Broccoli.
It's called Rut. Oh, I'm sorry.
Cranberries. It's
Oh,
real.
good.
It's really, really healthy. I'm eating like nothing but health food. And for dinner earlier, I had a piece of salmon and green beans.
Wow, I bet you feel good. You sound better. Seriously, the last 3 days.
Oh yeah.
I've noticed I've noticed your energy, your attitude. I'm not just saying it. It's obvious to me. What do you guys think? Have you noticed just her tone and her energy lately?
Yeah, I have. I think she needs to write down everything she's eaten and put it into a book and then maybe sell it.
What?
I'm serious about that.
What are you
I
talking
think you
about?
ought to write.
Are you
I'm
being
talking
serious?
about your diet.
It is radical. I went from eating nachos, hamburgers, and ice cream.
Name of that movie was called Rush, 1991.
Rush.
It was called Rush. It was with Jason Patrick and what is her name? Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Oh yeah, wasn't she lesbian?
I don't know.
Not that it matters, but I'm
in the
pretty sure
movie she was his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if she was a lesbo or not.
Checking now.
I think, and later in life, she kind of got outed. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure she got outed later.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty. But that's not uncommon. I mean, Hollywood. Jesus, I wouldn't be surprised if more than half the people in Hollywood. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you got a talent, whether you're gay or not gay, it don't make a difference. But a lot of them don't want you to know that, though. They keep it secret. It's like for whatever reason, they think they need to keep it a secret.
God knows everything, and these people can't hide their sexuality,
Hey, Sonny.
Not after a while.
Yep.
This guy from Dallas wrote this article, said, how to spot an undercover officer.
Okay.
It says,
How
do
do
people
they do
undercover have to tell you that they're working undercover? When asked, undercover police do not have to tell you that they are working undercover. I'm
That
not
is
sure how
correct.
this rumor got started, but it is very much not true. Are police allowed to use drugs? The short answer is no. The big but is they can and they will fake it. Police learn how to mimic a joint hit. It's easy to do by allowing the smoke to pass from their mouth through their noses. All right?
Right.
How can you tell? How can you test the policeman to see if he's undercover? Excuse me. The best way to reveal an undercover cop is to insist they take a large bong hit in your presence. I find it impossible to fake a bong hit. Now, this guy worked in Dallas Vice for a long time. I found it was impossible to fake a bong hit, so I always insisted. Always insist on this warrant of ingestion when dealing with a suspicious person. Informants are ordered to not use drugs. They commonly violate this agreement during operations. When I was on the force, I was often drug tested immediately after an operation. This was to prove without a doubt that I didn't take drugs while undercover. What should you do when your friend gets busted? Never conduct drug deals with your recently busted friend, especially make sure to stay away from him. What if he is my best friend? These guys are pros. They know how to turn people, even your best friends. Don't risk your own safety until it's over. What steps can I take to avoid being set up? If a person is unwilling to constantly change deal locations before the deal, he is probably a cop. And
you know what? A lot of that may really pertain to like on a local level and what their where he worked at and what their policies and procedures were. We were told that of course the ideal thing was not to have to use drugs, but our immediate physical safety was paramount, and it was that took all precedence over anything we were trying to accomplish. And supposedly it did. But I can tell you this: you go out there and blow up an investigation that they've already got $3 or $4 million invested in, and you tell them you were thinking it was over for you. They don't really care. I can promise you that. You'll have all kinds of problems if you had that shut down. But as far as drug use, there is a hard and fast rule that you're not supposed to, but they excused every time that I'm aware of. After every undercover assignment, I was sent to a rehab so that they could make sure that I was clean and or at least clean to testify and stuff like that, because there were a lot of times that the undercovers were accused of using drugs, and it never went anyplace.
No.
They're going to protect you. They got to protect you. I mean, that's part of the deal, I'm going to think.
Well, and here's the other deal. The DEA is not going to go after anybody that it doesn't result in a lot of money confiscated. And I've said this before. If you were some kind of snitch and you go to the DEA, for example, and you say, well, over at this house they've got I don't know, 20 kilos of cocaine, and then they're going to say, well, okay, and how much cash are they keeping there? Well, none. But over at this house they've got 3 kilos of cocaine, and they've got $250,000 in cash. They're gonna pass on the one with no money, and they're gonna go make the bust on where all the cash is. Cash is king, even when it comes to that. That's just the way it is. And they don't like to use local agencies if they can keep from it, because if a local agency is involved, everything that's confiscated, the local agency gets a little piece of that as well. So they don't like giving up any of that. And so all the true assets of a bust like that, talking about cash, cars, houses, property, everything that could be imaginable, any of that that's confiscated becomes the property of the agency that made the arrest and that made the case. So they're all about that. And it doesn't, that money that they confiscate and use to better their agency or whatever does not even figure into their budget. So if the DEA is allowed, I don't know, let's say the DEA is allowed $50 million for the year, and if they would go out and make enough busts to even match that, they're still going to get their $50 million for the year from in their budget things. All this other money is just gravy for them. And that's the way it works. It's all about the money. Now, if they get enough people standing up and screaming about something, they'll go do something about that and pass on some money just to get everybody to shut the fuck up. But it's truly all about the money.
Yes.
And
anyway. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for anybody to respond.
Well, I mean, obviously, he's telling it like it is. I mean, what are we going to do about it? I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. I
There's
promise.
not a fucking thing we can.
No, when you've got that much money at stake every year, fuck. Just get in the way of that shit and see where you end up.
I could see greed as part of that process.
Okay, well, let me paint a picture. Let's say you're a congressman or a senator, and technically, they get a salary somewhere between what, $60,000 and $100,000, or maybe $200,000. Is that about?
No,
right?
they're up over $200,000 a year, I think now. I'm not sure about that, but they make a decent wage, yeah.
Okay, so let's say $200,000. So let's say, let's just pretend.
I may be wrong about that, but it's in the high 100s or just over 2.
So let's say after taxes, they're going to put somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 in their pocket. Hypothetical. That's, for most people, that's a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But if some situation comes along and suddenly you have an opportunity to do something that you believe you are not going to get caught doing, but it's going to mean that you get to put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10 million in a secret bank account. And here you are just putting $10,000 a month in your pocket. A lot of people are going to consider that very seriously, I think.
You talking about like these senators and stuff like that?
Well, anybody. I mean, anybody in a political position.
Let me give you an example of a senator. Senator Jim Wright was the Speaker of the House years and years ago. And Jim Wright had never held a job that was not in public service. And they didn't make they made good money, but his whole life, I don't think he ever made over $130,000 a year. And he retired from Congress with an estate of over $10 million. Tell me how that happens.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, listen to this. This is the way. This is a former agent is telling how you can tell an undercover cop. It says money issues. The first person we'll talk about is Brian Owens. Brian's habit of throwing cash around meant that even though a lot of people didn't like him, they were annoyed by his blustery bro dude type personality. They were willing to put up with it. He was always buying drinks, took people out to dinner, blah, 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 blah. And he never worried about having his rent paid or his locks or anything like that. Number 2, Brian had made plans to go to the Republican National Convention himself, but was escorted off the plane by the authorities. Reason was not clear. Number 3, several people remember Brian bragging that he had a record and had been arrested for political action. Number 4, questions about his personal life. When I went to the bathroom, says a friend, there was nothing in there. You would expect to see soap or towels or something. And I asked him how long he'd been living there, and he got aggravated. And number 5, they respond to inquiries with hostility. And the last one says, pressuring people towards illegal activity. It says Brian kept pushing Brady McGarry toward radical, real militant action, asking Brady to how to make Molotov cocktails and teach him how to do all that kind of stuff. And so everybody figured out real quick that he was an undercover agent. So
Wow.
I think I think you really have to be. You have to be pretty good at what you're doing to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And it can really try on you as far as it can change you if you do the undercover work, and it can fix it so that if you're married, that's not going to work out.
What about this? The science reasons why people cannot handle weed sometimes. Remember, we were talking about that the other night when you get
Yeah.
It says, I've always said I don't trust a person who doesn't smoke weed, but I absolutely trust weed if it doesn't like a person. Oh, wait, that's the first time I've ever said that. Actually, it's something people say about dogs, but in fact, I want to tell you something that I know to be true, and this comes from Vice. When people talk about marijuana, they're not distinguishing between the different components of cannabis, says Dr. something. The 2 main components are whatever, those 2 big words. According to the research, these components have contrasting effects on anxiety levels. We know very well from animal studies that THC concentration starts increasing is more likely to intensify anxiety. Wynn's experience mimics it looks like Ranganathan's findings. She says that certain strains of sativa, which have higher doses of THC, exacerbate her social anxiety. I would have thought that everything was fine, but then I smoked some sativa and I start ruminating and I start thinking of the social situation and I just go crazy and I'll just start freaking out. Okay. I have a feeling I know what point they're going to make.
Yep.
I will say that as a daily pot smoker, but not an all-day pot smoker, I never really had a high anxiety weed experience until a couple of years ago when I ate this THC snickerdoodle that my wife's uncle made. My wife's uncle. No, my wife's uncle.
It gives me the munchies. I'm going to have to go get a Snickers bar now.
My wife's uncle. Get it sort of like my uncle, whatever. Okay, he says holy fuck, that was strong, and I was in fact losing my shit for a little while. The thing is, though, I was sitting inside playing video games, on a nice day, and the anxiety seemed to be telling me, hey, dipshit, get the fuck up and go outside with your dog and enjoy the weather. Turn off your fucking computer. So we went for a long walk, and the anxiety went away. By the way, here's a picture of me and my dog. Thinking there's not an intelligence behind these plans is a mistake. What's really important about this research is that it finally fucking happened. Most people seem to be oblivious to the fact that not only was consuming marijuana illegal forever, it was also insanely difficult to get even research done on the subject. Oh, the freaky things we'll learn when this study finally gets done. And that was the end of it. It says read the rest at Vice if you enjoy their content. Okay, hold on. I'm going to go. I just clicked a link to Vice.com. All right. It says why people can't handle the weed. I'm sorry. It says she had Reed had never experienced panic attacks, blah, 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 blah. Let's go down to the good part. In a 2009 study in the Human Psychopharmacology Clinical and Experimental Journal, found that anxiety reactions and panic attacks are the acute symptoms most frequently associated with cannabis. Okay? When humans consume weed, it stimulates their endocannabinoid system, which plays a key role in regulating your response to reward, stress, and emotions. What the ESC does is it optimizes our brain between excitation and inhibition. But when the chemicals found in weeds such as THC enter the ECS, they perturb the system's ability to act in synchronicity, which can disrupt our ability to regulate our responses to stress, potentially causing anxiety. Fear stimuli that we can normally cope with becomes unmanageable under the effects of some marijuana because of the fight or flight response that gets disrupted. You may not be able to keep those stimuli under control because your ECS is temporarily out of whack. Okay, here we go. Chelsea Wind, a 46-year-old caregiver from Anderson, California, had been... See, I don't like those stories. Fuck off. Who cares? Okay, let's go down here. One reason for this is THC acts as a partial agonist, meaning that when it binds to the receptors, it only produces some of the drug's effect. Well, that sounds just like Suboxone.
Yeah.
It says what happens in our brain is the things bind to our things and it makes us freak out. But as you increase the dose of cannabis, it starts to look more like these synthetic drugs, says Ranganathan. If you consume a large quantity of THC, it makes sense that you might start experiencing some psychotic effects that people encounter when they smoke K2 or spice, okay? So, and the extreme paranoia. But what about those reactions whose reactions to weed changes over time? According to Dr. Baylor, these changing reactions aren't surprising because the plasticity of the brain morphs over time. Wow. And there's another story. Environmental factors such as early traumatic experiences on chronic stress can change the structure of the brain fearing process system. Isn't this interesting? Y'all want me to keep reading this?
Go ahead.
Okay. Then I'm going to back up. Mac Folio, a 33-year-old comedian and actor out of Toronto, started smoking weed when he was 14. For a long time, it was a relaxing, fun, sociable thing to do. I had lots of fun with my friends when we would smoke, but he says, in my mid-20s, it changed. I've got typing and noise. I've always had trouble with anxiety, and I tend to find it. I hate when people type just what somebody says. And I tend to find if I smoke nowadays, it often contributes to paranoia. Okay? And it's really weird for me. I can't even get some things done. Environmental factors such as early traumatic experiences or chronic stress can change the structure of the brain's fear processing system. Located in the amygdala and the hippocampus, these areas are particularly sensitive to cannabis, which explains why some people develop contrasting mental responses to marijuana over their lifetime. All right? And then it says, he believes that life experiences had a major impact on the change of the reaction to marijuana. I had dealt with a lot of whatever, family and friends dying, all this kind of stuff. When people talk about marijuana, they're not distinguishing between the different components of cannabis. The two main components in cannabis, we just read that one from the other study. Okay, here we go. All right, almost done. This is the last part. There's only like 3 more sentences. But if it's the right strain, it can have the reverse effect. I can be more gregarious and relaxed around people if it's an indica. The problem is it's not that simple. There are 65 cannabinoids found in cannabis, yet substantial data only exist on the THC and the CBD. With so little research, it's impossible to fully understand the psychological effects of cannabis can have on an individual's anxiety level. It's almost like searching through your pill cabinet for the right pill that's going to make you feel better. Or it's like Russian roulette because you don't know what that pill's going to do. That's it.
You know, I know this. I told you, Debbie, in fact, I think we were talking about it on your show one night, that when I went up to Colorado and I bought an edible up there, and the girl was trying to tell me to only eat a quarter of the cookie, and I just, whatever, I ate the whole thing. I freaked the fuck out. I mean, nobody knew it. I went and dealt with it all by myself. I didn't go running around screaming, saying I was dying or anything, but I was so fucking high. I didn't know I didn't know whether to shit or go blind. You know, it was just horrible. But I have learned, since I've started smoking again, I have learned that where I get mine from, I get an indica strain that I don't get all freaked out. None. The problem I have is if it's really potent, and most of this is is I end up getting couch locked for a while, just kind of sitting there going, yeah. But to me, it works great for pain, and it helps me get sleep that I don't normally get.
I like that term, couch locked.
Oh, brother!
If I was on Twitter right now, I would do hashtag couch locked.
Couch locked. There you go. Yeah.
Does Debbie? Do you ever get couch locked?
What does that mean?
Meaning, I got so high that I just sat there and stared at the TV it was just ridiculous. And I don't do that anymore because I know now kind of to back away from it a little bit and just kind of do what I need, and then I'm fine. But I can see where some people, I don't want to be couch locked is what I'm saying. I don't want to be just so stoned I just sit there and stuff. But and I've learned to kind of cope with that and deal with it and just not get so high.
Well, imagine that's what I was talking about earlier, Sonny, before you came on. We got literally 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old people getting smoking this stuff that's super, super potent, and their little brains are not, they don't know what the fuck they're getting themselves into. And then they're just all high, and then they go on live Periscope and put their lives out there for anybody. And it's just weird. To me, it's it's back in the day, weed was not like it is now. Shit. You probably know that, but it's probably 80% stronger minimum.
Oh, no doubt.
Minimum.
Yeah. No, I agree. It is, but again, I enjoy getting high, but I enjoy more than that the pain relief that I get from that, and I'm able to sleep good, and I'm gonna stay with that,
It's definitely Go ahead, Debbie. I'm sorry.
Terrence McKenna took a bad acid trip in the late 80s and never took mushrooms again. It scared him to death. And that's Terrence McKenna. He's like the god of all high people.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What? I'm being dead serious.
I took ecstasy in the 90s.
That's a good drug.
And I took a lot of it, actually, and I loved the shit out of it. But then one night at a concert, I took some ecstasy, and I was with my friend, and I don't know why, but I went on a freaking bad trip. And thank God he was there, because I told him, I go, you know what, dude, I am tripping right now. I am really depressed. I just feel like it was weird. I felt bad. And he talked me out of it. Somehow he was able to get me back on ground zero. And after that, though, never touched ecstasy ever again after that.
Well, but isn't ecstasy more or less a bathtub drug?
No, not the ecstasy I did. Mine was first press out of Russia.
Yeah, I had some good shit. We had some really good shit.
Nowadays it's garbage.
We had ecstasy in the 80s when it first was like before. 80s. Think about that. Who remembers talking about, you didn't even hear about ecstasy in the 80s, but this shit was, anyway, it was awesome.
Well, in the beginning, that stuff was, you could buy it at a convenience store. Well, not at a convenience store, but you could buy it at certain like head shops and whatever. There was no law against it at that time.
We got hairdressers selling it in our town, so we go in and we're getting a haircut for $15 and buy a bunch of pills.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every 2 weeks you go in for a trim and you get a bag of pills for a bonus. But that was so long ago. I can't get in trouble for that, right, Sonny? It's too late for me to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, you're way past all of that, man. I wouldn't worry about it.
Did you know that most people they fare better on 4 hours of sleep every day?
Well, then I ought to be one smooth motherfucker, because I have a hard time getting much more than 4 to 6 hours.
Man, I slept my ass off last night. I hate when Victor does that to me. I'm like, stop doing that. He'll come in here, he'll turn on my fan, or he'll turn on that amazing noise. It's on YouTube that for some bizarre reason makes me sleep. If y'all ever wanted me to sleep, just put this noise on, and it'll make me sleep for the rest of my life until it turns off. He does this research on this thing. It's called Live from the Hubble Space Center, okay? And there's this noise that comes, and it must be some noise that is so tranquil to me. It literally keeps me in zeta sleep for hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You got a sample of that?
Oh, yeah, but my computer's acting like an idiot, so.
Is Dr. B still here? Or do you,
Yeah, he's there. He's here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better to get like 7 to 9 hours for most adults. I'm 18 to 64 years old. And 4 to 6 hours doesn't sound like anybody's getting enough sleep.
Sorry, I can't stop it. Hold on. I'm sorry, Dr. B. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Sorry. Yeah, 7 to 9 hours. That's better than, say, 4 to 6 hours. That says to me, there's been studies that have found that sleeping 6 to 7 hours each night correlates with longer living and cardiac health in humans. Though many underlying factors may be involved in the causality behind this relationship.
Yeah, I've heard that people that work shift work, that maybe they're working, the deep night shift, and then they switch up later on, and then they go back to that. I heard that those people are more likely to end up with, because of the rest that they don't get, they're more likely to end up with heart problems.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't
ready
know
to
how
hear
true
this
that is.
sound so I can get off this page? Listen. And he does it. He did it this morning when he left for work. He left for work early. Damn. And I almost choked to death. That is a very dangerous salad because it's got these really hard pieces in it because it's raw vegetables.
Right.
It's cauliflower. It's broccoli. I'm choking. And it's pumpkin seeds, which are one of the best things that you can eat. But anyway, and he comes in and he'll turn it on. And it's just like, and I'm like, I woke up, I went, fuck! I looked at the clock and I said, oh my God, it was crazy. I was like, God, I slept forever. So I just need one good sleep out every 2 days. Other than that, I do 4 hours a night, if that.
Didn't he get by on like 90-minute naps or something?
I don't have time to sleep.
Right, but didn't Kennedy get by on like little 2 or 90-minute naps? And
yeah, he couldn't sleep because of his back pain.
Right, I get it.
So sad. God, I'm choking, guys. Hold on. Damn. Anyway, I'm back. And I drink water. Cheers. You won't believe how much water I drink. I go through. This is 32 ounces. It's one of those crazy satanic things where the ice never melts. This is my third since I got up today.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I went out down the street with my little fat Mexican buddy. Well, he's young, but he's real stub. He's short. He's married. He's got 2 kids. And we do this this high intensity. Have you ever heard of a HIT, high intensity training?
Yes.
You should see what we do.
Like that cross training, right?
No, you should see what we do. We start out on the street and we run from the stop sign as fast as we can. We sprint all the way down to the first. There's a tree that we look for, right?
Right.
Then we stand there for a second, and then we walk all the way back. And then when we go the next time, we jog. Then when we get back, then we sprint as fast as we can. It's called high intensity training, and it is supposed to be one of the coolest things. Cheers, that they've come out with in a long time. Y'all should look into that.
I've seen that. I thought it was called cross training, but whatever it's called, I couldn't figure out. Every time I would roll down this street, all these people are walking or running or carrying a fucking spare tire on their back or whatever they're doing. What? And I'm thinking, what in the fuck is going on here? And I finally found out. I mean, I just thought, Jesus Christ, they're stripping cars and carrying them off this way. I didn't know what they were doing.
High intensity training incorporates
Sonny,
periods of work with short.
It's quite a tangent, though.
It says, how do you do it? You just do. I mean, if you're going to do bodybuilding, what I'm doing is called cardio, and you just do. It's just what I said. You just really go hard and then you stop.
Right. Well,
Okay,
cool.
I used to train like that for about an hour. And I got to tell you guys a quick story. You remember the 49ers back when they had Joe Montana? You guys remember that era when the 49ers were winning all this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I lived in Santa Clara County, and a lot of the 49ers lived there because they played in San Francisco. And Ronnie Lott actually lived in this town called Saratoga, which is like the super rich town part where I lived near my area. But anyway, he trained at this gym, and he would come in with at 6, 7 in the morning, because sometimes I'd be there with my buddy. We'd be working out, but he'd be in there for 2.5 hours training nonstop, just like Debbie was talking about with weights. So he'd be stripping them, going boom, 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 nonstop. Just like he wasn't doing a lot of heavy lifting, but just he'd start off, and it's like a power training system. And I mean, you guys know that guy was a maniac. Ronnie Lott, you remember him?
Yeah, I do.
That guy he was like crazy. I mean, he hit people. I mean, it was the safety, and I think one game he cut off part of his finger. I don't know if you remember hearing that story. His finger broke at the Super Bowl, and then they said, okay, well, we got to take you out of the game and put a cast, and they just cut off part of his finger and they wrapped it, and he just kept playing. But
wow.
I think a lot of that was because of steroids. Personally, that's my personal opinion. You can't train for 2.5 hours like that unless you got some juice in you.
The best way to do high intensity training I'm talking about, it says sprint for 30 seconds, walk for 60 seconds. That's what you do. It's called high intensity cardio. It's amazing because it's supposed to be the best way to burn. Now I'm going to sneeze again.
Bless you.
I've been sneezing all day. It's the best way to burn fat. Like if you have a fat stomach or whatever, it does a lot for that. You know what I mean? It's really good.
Yeah.
But you sprint for 30 seconds as hard as you can. Jet did it with me the other day. And then you stop and it's basically walk it out. You know what I mean? Truly it is. And I taught Jet something the other day because I used to run track for a long time. I said, when he was breathing real hard, I said, Jet, bend over at the waist and put your hands. Have you ever seen how people in track runners, I mean, they'll bend over and they'll put their hands on their knees and they'll do that because that opens up your lungs. So
right.
Yeah, and I taught that to Jet. So you can do if like you're me, you do a lot of butt work and thighs and stuff like that. You can do that. You can also do high intensity training on that. So there you go.
It does work better though. It's just going at one speed when you're changing speeds like that, it absolutely works better. I totally agree with you. So we keep doing it because that's good. You're going to get twice the results twice as fast.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, the way a muscle works is you hurt it. You really, that's what you do when you're lifting weights is you actually get to where you're hurting the muscle. You're actually damaging the muscle. That's why if you're not sore every time when you're working out, you're not doing anything. And it's really good to do that with your heart because your heart is also, it's an organ, but it operates like a muscle. I mean, and so if you take it instead of just going, we're going to just beat like the jog. Your heart will go, okay, we're going to beat this way. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, don't do that. Piss it off and have it go and run real hard. It's for your heart. And then you stop and have it go, what the fuck? And they go, boom, 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 boom. And go, and it's like, oh my God. And you're making it stronger that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you have to be careful because if you're not in good shape to begin with, you can cause trouble.
No. Do not do this unless you're in somewhat
decent shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
You bet.
Like certain people that might be home, like laying on the couch all day smoking bong hits, and then all of a sudden they get motivated. That's not the kind of person that wants to take on this program right out of bed.
No, not at all. In fact, you would want to build up to that.
Well, you would need to go to your doctor and ask him, can you start working out? And the only thing he's going to do is he's going to run an EKG and see if you've got a murmur or an irregular heartbeat. That's the only two things that they would probably find to stop you. Or unless you're highly obese, like some people over in the snake pit. Anyway, but, you know, the only exercise they get would be, well, never mind, just getting up to change the channel every now and then. But anyway, yeah, be careful. And another thing is the most amazing thing in the world. If you go out jogging and you go by a building that's got steps, do the jumps up the steps with your at the same time, you know, both feet, and then go down into a squat. That is an amazing thing to do.
Yeah. Do you remember in high school, Eric, having to run bleachers?
Oh yeah, I did it.
Fuck.
I did it.
Like in One-on-One, that movie One-on-One, remember?
Oh my God. You know, bleachers, I think, are the worst fucking punishment.
No
matter how
risers.
good it can get you in shape. Yeah. I ran more bleachers all through high school. Oh my God. It was horrible.
I would do jump squats where I would take a bar and have the weights, and then I put a towel back there, and I would literally jump like a scissors. Where
That's
what
I'm talking about, on stairs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I would go, and I would do it not really hard. I would do it kind of slow motion, and you just do that, and man, you build up your jumping, because I played basketball, and that's how I was able to jump. I mean, I increased my vertical jump dramatically doing that. And I mean, it comes from your ass usually. I mean, that's if you're trying to, you know, really get explosion. If you got a tight ass, then right, Debbie? I'm assuming you got a pretty tight ass.
You could bounce a dime off of it. You could set a cup of coffee on it. Asshole in the chat room, hater in the chat room.
Hang on a minute. Let me see.
No, it's set a cup of coffee on it.
It bounced right off that ass, I'm telling you.
Debbie, wow.
I used to tell Victor it's got your name all over it. Okay. The puppy gets it in the chat room, says JFK had access to and was administered by White House doctors more drugs than a jam band. Wrong. Absolutely 100% categorically wrong. Do your research and then call me when you get up from your nap, okay? And I'll give you a juice box and we'll talk about it, all right?
He's a troll.
So he didn't get drugs for his back?
He had one doctor that he'd had since he was 13. Period. Next.
I guess you think it's drugs.
I didn't know. I just assumed.
Well, this is
with
JFK had access and was administered by White House doctors more drugs.
And I agreed. I said right above that, I'm sure he got the best of drugs. I just assumed that he probably did.
Oh, I wasn't talking to you, Sonny. I was talking to...
No. But I'm saying I agreed with what he was saying. I didn't know. I mean, I just assumed he probably did get good drugs. I don't know that.
Damn right he did.
Yeah. So get your story.
I'm sure he has some sort of obituates, or not obituates. What do they call them? What's that stuff they got out now? That's opiates.
Kennedy did methamphetamine because of exhaustion that he always felt as a child. He was very sick as a child. Yes, he did methamphetamines, and he did pain. Now, the reason that they were being very funny, one of the reasons that they were just calm down, puppy gets it. The main reason that they didn't want the autopsy to be made public was because Robert Kennedy was protecting him from everybody finding out how many drugs he did. It was really sad. But he only had one doctor. And yes, it was. The actual drugs he did were, the doctor said, it was pretty drugs I wish the fuck I could get. Man, are you kidding me? Are y'all there?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he even walked in after he was dead, and he had 2 vials of drugs in his doctor. He had one doctor though.
Really? All that time?
Well, I don't know all that time, but I'm just saying he only depended on one drug. They didn't have all those. His drug usage was not known by people in the White House. How about that? I mean, it was probably
Okay.
known, but it wasn't something that they wanted to go da 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 da, put it on the front page. Okay, you know, because see, okay, I don't mind that because frankly, I don't judge people by their drug use. I think that people do drugs that they need. I think people that crave meth are ADD. I think that people that crave opioids, there's something about them that they do to their brain that makes them feel better. Now, idiots that do methadone or heroin are idiots. I'm sorry. If you're doing heroin, you're an idiot. Okay.
And going to jail.
Well,
'Cause those
not going.
drugs can be illegal.
Well, yeah, you're not going to jail if you're good. I mean, I've never gone to jail. Anyway, I mean,
Shush.
I don't understand how people go to jail for drugs. Why would you leave your house in your car with drugs? What kind of an idiot would do that at 4 o'clock in the morning? Go home and have a gram of coke in your pocket, a couple of things in your bag. You're a little fucked up, and you don't even think anything of it. You get what you deserve. I think it's hysterical. I told this one guy named God, I never think. What was his name? He tattooed my name on his arm. What was his name?
John Real.
John Real. I told John Real. I said, John. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. You were on LBJ and Forest Lane. What did you expect? Driving my Mercedes. What did you expect? Did you expect not to get pulled over? And you know what he had on him? You know what these stupid, idiotic drug dealers do? They go to rent a motel room to up. It's called. They do this thing called re-upping. Okay, when they go to their. Okay, John had been to 3 houses. He had a bag of 300 hits of ecstasy. He had 200 hits of Contins or Oxycontins or something like that. He had a gigantic bag of weed and a gigantic bag of ice, methamphetamine. All right? He goes to this hotel on the corner of Interstate 30 and Beltline Road. It's an older thing, right? And the Garland cops, now this is how I tried to beat the case. The Garland cops came by there, went in and asked the guy at the night, they go there and they run all the tags in the parking lot, all right? And when they get somebody that they know is a known whatever, they go to the help. Thank you, Victor. Victor has to help me do this all the time. The night clerk, and they say, tell us what room this guy's in. Well, the clerk told him, the cops. So he was sitting up there in his room getting all of this. They have to put it in baggies of 10, baggies of 5, all this kind of. It's a lot of work, and they don't do it at their house because if word gets out, then some of the bad guys can come over and take his dope, right? Okay.
Right.
So he gets a knock on the door, and the guy goes, yes, and he goes, it's front desk. He goes, we're just checking on you, and he goes, I'm fine. And so they walked off. And he goes, fuck. He hides everything in the room. Now, he's got his dog up there with him. His name was Superman. After he went and got picked up, I kept Superman. Okay, Superman was a pit bull. Well, he says the next thing happens is, yes. He goes, open the door. It's front desk. And he goes, I told you I'm fine. He goes, we need to make sure you're fine because we haven't heard from you since this morning and you won't let anybody come in your room. You won't let room service come in. He goes, I'm fine. He goes, this hotel room is registered to a girl. I need to see if she's in there. He goes, she's not. She left and went over to her mom's house for a little while. And he said, open the door. And so he opens the door. When he opened the door, 2 Garden police officers pushed their way through, searched the room, and busted him with everything I told you. Now, I told him, I said, that is a classic 4th Amendment and 14th Amendment violation right there because a hotel room. Now, I want to tell you something, Sonny. You were talking about going undercover. In Denton, they had a bust called the Snow White Bust. There was a guy that was busted. His name was Jaime Corona. Check this out. Am I lying? Jaime Corona got busted with 52 kilos of cocaine that he sold to 2 DEA agents in a hotel room in Denton, Texas, all right? Out of everybody that was involved in Snow White, our client, Jaime Corona, because of me, got found not guilty, got acquitted of all charges. And you want to know why? Because I went through my slip opinions from the United States Court of Appeals, and I found a case where they ruled that a locked briefcase is considered home. It's your home. If it's locked,
Right.
it's your house, okay? And they made him unlock that because when he went in there, Jaime knew something was going on because he smelled trouble, and they forced him to unlock that briefcase. And we've got it. It was all on video and everything. Do you remember that, Victor?
Yeah, it wasn't 52 kilos. It was like a couple kilos.
No, it wasn't. The Snow White was 52 kilos, right?
Yeah.
And Jaime did 2 kilos to the under. And our guy got found. We beat it prior to the grand jury on a motion to quash, all because of me. I found it, and I got a bonus that year. That week, I got a $15,000 bonus cash.
And a kilo.
No, I didn't get to
Just happened to have one.
Funniest line I've heard from you since.
Actually, Jaime did sell some of the best Coke, which I got all the time, but he did.
Did the police officers have a warrant, or did they have probable cause?
They were undercover, and they were meeting him in a hotel in Denton. It was called the Denton Snow White Bust, and there was a bunch of defendants. And when he made the deal over the phone, he met one of the guys, did this, did that, did this, did that. And on the night he went with the cocaine, which he went and got it from this guy. Wasn't it from Esteban?
Could be.
Esteban was one of the main guys out of Miami in the Cuban cartel that I knew, and he went to Esteban and got all this stuff. And when he went to meet him, he walked in and he said something came over him. He just didn't feel right about it. And he said, I don't want to do this deal. And they said, open the briefcase. And they showed their badges and stuff. And he goes, no, I'm not going to. And they said, open it. And they forced him. They got him. They got the key and they opened up and there was the 2 kilos. Well, you're not going to beat the ride, but you're going to beat the time. So he went down, called my office, and I said, we just worked the whole deal. It was amazing.
Wow.
So, yes, he was guilty of doing it, but so I told John, to get back to the original case, I said, he called me constantly from jail. He was one of those guys that I was counseling that was a troubled teen out of one of the school districts I was working with. Remember I told you about that guy? He ended up getting a tattoo of my name on his arm. And anyway, when he was in prison, and I told him, I said, do not plead out on this. You've got a winnable case. Do not. I said, have you gone to the magistrate? He said, yeah. And I said, what did you plead? Guess what he said?
He said guilty.
Mm-hmm. Guilty. Yeah. I said, why did you do that? He goes, because I didn't know what to do. They had all the dope. It was right there. And it had all come back from the labs. And see, they're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to see a magistrate within 72 hours. Is it 72 hours, Victor?
I believe so.
And he had not seen that magistrate. They had taken their time in getting these drugs. There was so much of it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, yeah. So it was a sad deal. It was a real deal. You can look it up. John Real. I tried so hard to help him.
And the time he ran from the police and he went to
the
cops came in and he pushed right past him.
He pushed right past him and ran.
And was he naked?
Yeah, he was naked. Now here's the thing. When they came in that hotel room, he ran, which means whatever. I said, John, do not cop to that, because anything that they found in that room, you were not there to see them get. They could have planted every bit of that. I said, do not cop to that. And he'd already fucked up. And because when he ran from him, Sonny, it was over there in that Northwest Drive. No, not Northwest Drive. Is it Belt? Yeah, it's Beltline Road over there. Right towards 30, there's all those fields and that great big creek, Long Creek goes through there.
DAC.
Oh, yeah.
No, not the DAC. And he ran all the way out into that pasture, in that opening, and he went down through the creek, and they cornered him right there by that Dairy Queen, and there's a Sonic, and there's a Kroger, and are you sure you know what I'm talking about? And anyway, they cornered him at that bank, and they had 2 dogs, and the dogs attacked him, and he showed me.
Yeah, they let him go. Yeah, because he already.
He already goes. He goes, stop! I'm giving up. He threw his hands up, and they sipped the dogs on him, and then the dogs started chewing on him and stuff. It was really sad. He had to go to the infirmary for like 2 days, but it was so sad. So I don't know where I got off on that story, but people say I have interesting.
He shouldn't have done drugs to begin with, or deal with drug cartels. That's a bad deal.
The words of wisdom. Dr. B he interjects the words of wisdom.
Thanks, Eric.
Mm-mm.
Well, okay, Sonny, I got a term, and Debbie, you may have heard this, but I'm just going to see. Okay, where I was in the 80s, they called it yee-yow. Did you ever heard that term yee-yow before?
Yeah, I've heard of Yale.
Y-E-Y.
Yar? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard that.
Like,
I've heard of.
Yee.
Are you talking about
Y.
cocaine?
Yeah, we called it yee-yow. It was a code name for cocaine. We called it yee-yow.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know if you've heard that because that's like a slang term that.
I've heard it called,
a
variety of things,
Yeah, I know there's a lot of kind of crazy terms, but anyway, I just remembered as Debbie was telling her story.
So what about it?
There was this white guy that was trying to get come up real fast back in the day when I was in my 20s, and he was trying to impress everybody. So I don't know how he managed to get some sort of connection, but we had it was Halloween, and so he shows up with this huge, huge giant rock. I mean, it was freaking massive. I don't know how much it was, but I just remember him these guys they got so fucked up off that shit. That was back when people they'd rock it up and smoke it. And so anyway, it got to the end whenever they, and I didn't do that shit. I was not into that. It scared the shit out of me. I did it one time. It scared the shit out of me. It was so good. I got nervous and I said, I can't ever do this again. I can't do this. This is too good. But anyway, so they ran out. And then what would happen is they would be so high that they thought that they heard noises outside their apartment, and they had drapes. So they would be looking on the carpet and they would be finding what they thought were like rocks that they had dropped on the carpet. And they were pulling off these little fur ball things out of the carpet thinking that it was rock cocaine. And then they would be looking underneath the drapes on the carpet, crawling on the floor, looking out because they thought they heard cops outside. I mean, this is the kind of insanity that these guys go through when they're really, really high. I don't know if Sonny knows what I'm talking about, but that's some freaky shit right there. I've seen that happen. I've seen guys do that shit. It's not a pleasant thing at all.
Well, I just think that there are so many laws and so many ways to go around it. Everybody has all their ideas. Like, well, but you got that guy off because of what reason was it, Debbie? You were able to get him off because you. I'm
sorry. See, law is made constantly. Okay?
Right.
You have to understand what I know as a legal assistant in criminal law. Law is made every day. If a federal judge makes a ruling in a case, that's the new law. And what you have to do as an intelligent, well-paid, and well-wanted paralegal in criminal law, I just took a big bite of salad.
Let you sling from the bench.
You get these things. Excuse me?
Oh, sorry.
You get these
I was
things.
just saying.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I ordered these things called slip opinions. And what slip opinions are is they're pieces of paper that are long, like they look like a ruler. And what you do with a slip opinion is if it goes to your case, you stick that in there and it bookmarks. They're like bookmarks. And the slip opinions, I found a slip opinion, can you believe this, that said that it is illegal for any police officer or any policing, law enforcement officer to request. It is a violation of the Fourth Amendment right, your right to privacy, to ask somebody to open up a locked briefcase. And when I told that to my boss, he goes, "No, you didn't." I said, "Yes, I did." He goes, "No, you fucking didn't." I said, "Yes, I did." He goes, "Debbie, don't lie to me." I said, "Are you ready?" He goes, "All right, go get it." And I said, and I put it down. He goes, "I'll be goddamn." He goes, "Do the motion." I said, "Can I do the motion?" He goes, "Do the motion." Filed a motion to quash information, which means you beat it before it goes to the, help me out, Sonny, the grand jury.
Right.
And you file the case through the magistrate, and you say, comes now the defendant by and through his attorney of record, and request the court to quash the information in the cause because, and you list your reasons. And I said it is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And this was in federal courthouse too, over there in the Capitol building. It is a violation, and I quoted, pursuant to Southwest, you list everything that it's in. It's in the journals, and They freaking granted it, so they quashed it. Boom. Which means, and it was with prejudice, which means they couldn't refile.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there was a deal that we were. I just remember one time that there was a case they were trying to make. Everything was in this building. Nobody, even though I was working the deal, there was just not enough that a judge would sign off for a warrant for these people. So then one of the DEA's lawyers came and told my handlers that there was a way to get around the Fourth Amendment. It's got initials. It's something about an undercover has the right, if he's gained legal consent access, but not as a law enforcement officer. But once I was there, I was able to circumvent the Fourth Amendment.
This I gotta hear. This I gotta hear. I'm waiting.
It's called consent once removed doctrine. That's what it's called. It's called
also,
CORD. C-O-R-D.
Have you ever heard of fruit from the poison vine?
I have heard that, but I don't even remember what it is.
If you come in on a search warrant to my house to look for the weapon that killed, the knife that killed whoever. Yes, right. And while you're in there, you find illegal weapons, you find drugs. That's fruit from the poison vine. You can go ahead and do it, but it's not going to stick because I work, and that's why I'm so highly wanted with I'm sorry, I was reading something with attorneys that know that I'm available to work for them because I beat cases on technicalities.
So that deal of the poison whatever, basically what you're doing is you're just spinning your wheels because that's not going to stick, right? Most of that's going to be thrown out.
Like I said, you're not going to beat the ride, but you're going to beat the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But now this other deal, I don't remember what it was, but I don't think it allowed them to search. It allowed them to search if an undercover. This has been so long ago. An undercover had consent to be there, even though he didn't present himself as a law enforcement officer. He had the right at that point in time to call in for backup to effect an arrest. Once they arrested him, they had the right to search the immediate area where that guy was. It's something I don't remember, but I don't even remember how that turned out. I honestly don't. I mean, it was a long time ago.
That's because they put that chip in your brain. They turned that part off.
They deleted your memory. They deleted your memory.
That's right. I was a Stepford cop. Yeah, there you go. Instead of the Stepford wives.
That's all you do is you just look for federal slip opinions from the United States federal cases.
There you go.
And that's what how stupid some of these people are that take on these cases. Well, let's just plead him out you might as well plead out. They're going to give you time served. I'm like, oh my God.
Don't you think a lot of lawyers do that though, just to drag their money?
Drag their money? What do you mean?
In other words, don't you think a lot of lackluster?
No, they're stupid because you don't learn in law school how to have a mind. I mean, I used to have I had bosses tell me that I should have sat on a bench. They said, you've got a legal mind. And Victor will tell you I should have worked for the FBI because I'm so good with this kind of stuff. All right, let me say something right here.
We could probably get you a job, Debbie, with John D'Souza if you want.
Under the Fourth Amendment of the United States, most police searches require a search warrant based on probable cause, although there are some exceptions. Any police entry of somebody's home requires a search warrant, either for a search or an arrest. Absent exigent circumstances or the free and voluntary consent of a person with reasonable apparent use of or control over the property. Okay? Under the Fourth Amendment, searches must be reasonable and specific. This means that a search warrant must specify the object to search for and the place to search for it. Other items, meaning rooms, outside buildings, or people, may require additional search warrants. People know your rights. To obtain a search warrant, an officer must prove to a magistrate that probable cause exists based upon direct information, which is, whatever hearsay, a narc. Hearsay information can be obtained by oral testimony.
Just in the comments I was getting earlier today, like, people were super being mean to me.
Hello?
What is that?
What
Hello?
the crap?
Is somebody playing something or something?
Not me.
It says
Eric,
right here.
was that you?
It was. I'm sorry. My bad.
Hearsay information can be obtained by this. Police can seize both property and persons under a search warrant. The standard for a search warrant is much lower than the quantum of proof required for a conviction. The rationale is that evidence that police collect without a search warrant may not be sufficient to convict, but may be sufficient to suggest that a warrant would allow police to find enough evidence to convict. It's a slippery slope, but you better know that under Title 18 of the United States Code, do your research. Do your freaking research. Title 18 is where I've lived, and that is where all the stuff is about search and seizure and the federal warrants, the federal drugs and all that kind of stuff. Truly it is.
Yeah, good point.
I'm sure, though, lots of cops, lots of law enforcement people lied to judges to get warrants. I'm certain that they do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Good cops, bad cops.
No, I know they did. I had a cop walk in my house one time and say, "Where's Deborah?" And Stephen goes, "Ooh, you just violated the Fourth Amendment." On the video, you can hear Stephen go, "Uh-oh." And I went into the bathroom and I closed both doors. I was behind two doors and I had my feet up against the bathtub. And he was out there.
What were they looking for you for?
He was going, and I said, "Taylor, break it down. I don't give 3 fucks. I'm not coming out of here." I said, "Heather, go call your dad." He goes, "Debbie, I'm going to break it down." I said, "Then break it down." I said, "You have illegally come across my threshold and you know it." I said, "And you're so deep into this now, you can't get yourself out of it, can you?" And I said, "I'm not coming out of this bathroom. You'll have to break the door down." Because they just hated me because I was right and they were wrong and they were bullying kids. And so they made up this fake warrant. They took it over to Garland and got this judge to sign off on it, and it was not even there. When I went downtown, there was no warrant. For failure to appear for a dog at large ticket.
Oh, my God.
Animal at large.
And they showed up at your that was just pure and simple harassment.
Well, they lost their badges.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are the two that lost their badges. And I didn't even know that because Wardlow called me from downtown the next day and he says, "Debbie, I need you to come down here and talk to me." And I said, "About what?" And he goes, "About what went on with you." And I called my attorney, Robert, and Robert said, "Don't you dare go downtown." And I didn't go.
I agree.
And so I called him and I said, I could solve this very quickly by sending you a piece of video. And he goes, "What is it?" I sent him the video. That's the last I heard until Tyler came over one time and goes, "Did you hear about so-and-so and so-and-so? They got put on administrative leave." I said, "What?" He said, "Wow." And it's pretty heavy duty. But I didn't do it. They did it. That was all of them. That was all of them. That was not me. They did it. They fucked up big time. I think
I don't even see how a police officer, in my mind, could get that obsessed to fuck with somebody like that over nothing.
Oh, they were plenty. Well, think about everybody else. That's why my song goes. I wish somebody would have told me that obsessive needs are always following me around. People get like that, even in real life. That's the only time, but it has happened. And you know what they did one night? And I've got the video to prove this. One night, I told y'all about that party. Am I talking too much?
No.
Oh, no.
I am?
No. Nobody said you were.
He said, "I don't know." Am I?
No, he didn't say that.
Okay.
What did you say, Dr. B?
He said, "I don't know."
Right.
Oh, Oh, I didn't even hear.
Does anybody
that,
want to say something? I feel like I'm just hogging the microphone.
No, we were listening to your story.
Okay, Heather wanted to have this party for homecoming, and I said fine. And it was a party where everybody spent the night, and we were going to allow they were seniors, and I was going to allow them to have a keg. But here's the deal: I had to talk to your mother, make sure it was okay for you to drink, and you had to the way you got into the party is you had to give me your keys. And so everybody was, I knew right where their cars were, and they were all marked and known. And they gave me the keys. I had talked to every one of their mothers. It was the football boys, the cheerleaders, and some other. So there was about 32 of them over there, right? And they ended up having a blast. And they had one guy that they paid to watch the front door. So he sat at the front door because our house was huge. Well, we all about 2:00 in the morning. I noticed something on the closed circuit televisions, and the house was surrounded by them. There was two across the street staring at us. There was one on the side of the house and two behind the house. And I said, guys, I need everybody to come downstairs and go into my bathroom. I had this huge bathroom, and there was like 32 kids in there. Victor was out of town. He went to Houston. Okay. And, I said, everybody sit in here and be real quiet. And I walked out in the front yard. And I said, what are you doing, guys? He says, hold on. He goes, Debbie, we know that you've got underage drinkers in there. I said, and? We need to come in there. I said, do you have a search warrant? We're waiting on the search warrant now, Debbie. I said, fine, we'll wait. And so I went back in the house, locked up. I said, nobody move. Well, Stephen had gone over to Tyler's house down the alley. And Tyler, a little while ago, earlier to do something. And I said, where's Stephen? They said, he went over to Tyler's. Well, all of a sudden, they said, because what's his name? What was his name? The guy that's still there, the sheriff that's still there. His name is, anyway, I'll think of it in a minute. And Taylor, they said, if we see one kid walk out of this house, because that would be justifiable, that would be whatever. Well,
right.
I said, nobody moved. Well, one of the girls at the party had called her mother because she got in a fight with her boyfriend and wanted to go home. So the mother pulls up out in front. And I said, oh, my fuck, what am I going to do? And they said, Debbie, send her out. And I said, sweetie, listen to me. I took her in my bathroom. She washed her face. She brushed her teeth. She gargled with Listerine. She put on cologne. She looked beautiful. I said, just go out there. And if you've ever, I said, just whatever. So she walked out and we saw her. All of this is recorded. They had spotlights, like fog lights on my house in the front and in the back. And they finally left at 4:15 in the morning. And all the
Jesus Christ. Over a party.
Over me. I mean, they wanted in my house so bad. So finally, one night, Heather comes over with her boyfriend. This was about 3 weeks later. She comes over to the house because at this time she had already graduated, and I told her that when she graduated that she could get this apartment down the street. So I got her the apartment. And she comes over and she's real upset. And she goes, Mom, Mom, Mom. She had taken one puff off of this joint with this hockey player that she hung out with. And she said, I don't know what to do. I'm so upset. She had called 911. And I looked up and I saw Taylor and what's his name? Something like Griggs or Biggs. They all come walking in. I said, well, welcome to the Sunnyvale drug dealing house. And it was just gorgeous. It looked like the inside of the home on Home Alone. And it was just beautiful. And I said, would you like to see where we cooked the meth in the bathtub? And they were going, all right, you're right. I said, come on in here. And they came all the way back into I gave them an entire tour of my house. I said, does this look like where we deal drugs? And I said, are you kidding me? I said, guys, you really need to you really need to get over this, and they were being really nice. And I said, who's the dickless Tracy? I said that. But no,
it just sounds to me like they had a lot of time on their hands over there.
Well, you have to realize that sheriffs aren't trained in anger management. They are simply trained to be bailiffs. And they were allowing sheriffs that have a high school diploma and a 9mm to police a city. And they weren't trained.
Correct.
They weren't trained in it, okay? Because the biggest joke that my brother said is, "What do you call somebody that drops out of the police academy? A sheriff's deputy." Okay. Well, you don't even have to have a college degree. They'll give you a 9mm and they go, "Yeah, well, what they did is they drove around the streets of Sunnyvale every night and shined gigantic flashlights into our houses as if to say, yep, 225's all locked up. Like we were in cells or something. It was really fucked up and weird how they did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every night. And they claimed that they were watching out for us. And one time I'll shut up. I could tell stories for the rest of the night about this shit. One time, I'll tell one more. The guys next door were having some sort of a fight or something. I say next door, it was like really far away because it's a 2-acre limit over there for your house. And so I was like, what's going on? They got a call from the person that lives in that house. I got in a fight with my husband. He crawled out the window and he's gone. I'd like to report him missing. They came up with assault rifles. I walked out. I said, what are you doing? Assault rifles? I mean, they were like so gun happy. Victor, last story, I promise, was coming down Beltline Road, had Tyler, Stephen, Hunter, and Brady. His name's Brent. We call him Brady. In the car. He had picked them up down where they were doing flipping bicycles, BMX bicycles, flip, okay?
Right.
They had a flashlight that they flashed out of the back of Victor's Land Cruiser. Woo! The sheriff pulls him over, and Victor says, oh, it was just Tyler. He said, get up against the car. And Victor said, what? Because they thought that the kids were going, help, we've been abducted. He goes, it's me. This is Stephen and Hunter, Dr. Rollins' son. And they were getting ready to take him to jail for whatever bullshit until they finally just whatever. They come to their senses. That was Jeff Coate. Jeff Coate did that.
Wow.
It was so.
Wow.
In the 11 years I lived in Plano, I never even got a speeding ticket. I never even got pulled over by the cops. So it wasn't me. It was them. And I think it was because, number one, they knew that a bail bondsman lived there. Number two, there was a Mexican bail bondsman that was married to a white chick. And I think that they were racist and they didn't like it. Because I honestly feel that way. Excuse me.
And you're probably right, because I know a little bit about that over there and how that worked out and how they contracted to the sheriff's office. And I just think it was just a huge cash cow for the sheriff's department. They gave y'all 3 officers that would run through or I don't know how many they really had over there, but they paid the sheriff's department. If I remember right, it was like $4 or $5 million a year, so that they didn't have to, put their own police department together. And the sheriff's department now goes around to a lot of towns that can't really afford their own police department. And this is what they do. They get millions of dollars out of these communities and say, we'll be your cops. We'll give you this, that, or whatever, and you'll be able to take advantage of everything Dallas County has and blah, 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 blah. And it sounds like a big deal. But I just think there's a lot of money swapping hands on a deal like that.
Yeah, it says the Dallas County Sheriff issues a monthly report and crime analysis for the town of Sunnyvale. You can access this and archive reports by clicking here. And I just thought it was the cheesiest little thing I'd ever seen in my life. They had a volunteer fire department, and it was sheriffs. And I just thought that they were horrible.
Well, and think about it. I mean, they're not. They don't really have very many. They don't have any educational really requirements on them.
That's what I said. They give them a 9mm and an attitude.
I don't even think they have like continuing education on for those. I'm just not sure. I really don't know. I do some sheriffs, but I just never have asked them about that.
It's real easy to see. You just look it up, and it's right there.
Yeah.
In front. They don't have to have it. They don't do anything.
Wow.
That, to me, sounds like an underfunded, good old boy system that you're going through.
Look, when you go through the sheriff's office, you're not trained to deal with the public. Like a deputy deals with people that are in jail. They're bailiffs. Okay? Now, sometimes they'll go out and do stuff like that, but technically their training does not train them, because when you go out, you better know how to keep your cool when you're dealing with people like that out in the public, because people don't like to be fucked with. And people lose their tempers real easy, and you have to bring the tone of it down. That's your responsibility as a police as a law enforcement person, is to what's the word, Sonny?
De-escalate.
De-escalate the situation. And they didn't de-escalate.
Correct.
You know what they did to Stephen one time? They pulled him out of his truck and all this kind of stuff. You want to know why? Because he had his lights on. It's unbelievable, the shit they do. I mean, I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, see, it's all about the money with the sheriff's department. If you think about all of these different, like in the Dallas area, I'll use that town of Sunnyvale. You have the Dallas. Well, in a lot of areas, let me go to Garland, for example. Garland has the Garland Police Department. Dallas County's over there fighting to get their tickets in so that they can get all the money. Now the constable's office has got into the ticket writing business, and they're wanting a lot of that money. And it's just everybody's fighting for these dollars. And what they've done effectively is they start punishing people for living in certain municipalities, because the only thing left is to start ticketing the people that live in the municipalities that they're patrolling all the time. And it's not about law enforcement. It's not about public safety. It's about writing tickets. And I just think that's where law enforcement has gone wrong, because like everything else in our lives and in our world, it's all about the money.
I don't think so. I disagree. I totally disagree. I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about putting people out there that are, yep, ding, you're in my county now, boy. They get fat. They're all fat. Every one of them have these huge bellies, and they're fat, and they're out there playing cop. Because back when we played cops and robbers, did you want to be a cop or a robber? You have to realize, why does somebody want to be a cop? They want to carry a gun. They want to shoot people. They want to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I've done serious research into this and talked to a lot of people. And
there's a lot of guys. You're right. There's a lot of guys that grew up getting their ass whooped, and now they're going to make the rest of the world pay when they get their fucking badge and gun. I agree.
You're exactly right. Did you know that to be a sheriff's deputy, all you have to do is pass the BLET, the Basic Law Enforcement Training Course? Does not even have to complete a course delivery during the probationary period. That's all they have to do, and they'll give him a 9mm. And let me tell you something, these sheriffs around here, y'all better if you ever come to Dallas or Texas, you better be real careful, because these boys out in Boone County, they will get you. And they are also, in most of these shooting videos, you'll always see it's a sheriff. Not always, but it's pretty much always a sheriff that does all that shit.
Right.
Seriously, it's horrible.
No, and I agree. I think there's a lot of, see, they don't give. My big beef with most local police departments and the sheriff's department is they don't really give these guys any type of a mental health exam. They've got some old guy that'll sit over there. He's at the end of his practice. He's a psychiatrist, and he's 900 years old, and he'll say, "Okay, Billy Bob, you ever think about hurting yourself? Nope. You ever think about hurting others? Nope.
Well, give me a gun.
You're good to go.
Give him a 9mm. That's right.
Yep, you're good to go. And I really believe they just rubber stamp that shit. And that's why we have so many people shot.
I told this one guy, I went out, I said, look, I'm going to talk to you, just person to person, okay? I said, have you ever thought that maybe? And I said, I'm not being mean. And he sat down with me. He was real sweet. It was one of the deputies. And then we sat on the back of his car for quite a while. I said, did you ever think that maybe you made the wrong decision of what's going on? I said, you're having to deal with a lot of people out here. And I said, and you don't strike me as the kind of person that likes people on the up and up. I mean, like, for example, I would never be a pharmacist. Do you know where I'm going here? And he goes,
yep.
He goes, I think I know what you're saying. I said, you're worse than a pharmacist. Think about the bullshit you've got to put up. People go, well, and I said, and you just get, you get too mad. You get too mad. And I said, find something else to do. And, you know, I think he just had to do this because it was what he did or whatever. You know what I mean? It was terrible.
Yep.
It really was. It was terrible.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I got to get out of here. I've got another deal that I've got to go to at 11 o'clock in the morning. So.
Good night, Sonny.
Anyway, y'all take care.
Eric is watching
Dr.
Periscope,
B.
guys. Eric's
Good
on
night,
Periscope
Sonny.
watching those,
Good night,
those
Sonny.
cam whores.
Good night, Eric.
Oh,
And
I don't know.
good night,
They came
Debbie.
in here earlier. Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, Sonny.
I can listen to the show and look at Periscope at the same time. So
No,
it's
you were
kinda
listening to Periscope.
fun. For a minute, for a quick minute.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care who listens to what.
No, I was listening to you guys talk.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys
This is
sounds like you got some issues over there in your county.
Nah, they're all in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure the criminal justice system is undergoing reforms. Y'all sensed it, you know.
Oh, yeah, sure they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no more of the, big pompous asshole cop stereotype. Because, the cops I know are very professional. They're not like sheriffs from way back in the day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. I told one of them, I said, you're just like Barney Fife carrying around that bullet that you want to use so bad. Is anybody there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think back. I've never really had a major issue with the cop. Yeah, never.
Listen to this. Listen to this, okay?
I've had some cops that had that little man complex where they just, for whatever reason, they just really needed to establish how macho they were. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Y'all want to see one of the sheriffs down here in Texas and what he says?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see it.
Ready? What?
Sure.
You're going to die when you see this.
All right, this is Nathan Nenner from Hemphill, Texas. If you don't like cussing, go ahead and cut this video off now, or get your kids out of the room because I'm very pissed off. I'll give you time to do that for just a minute. Okay, I want to talk to you about what happened in Harris County where this black thug went up and just executed a deputy because he was a white deputy, because he was a law enforcement officer. It's going to end, and it's going to end with that. That's not going to happen anymore. That's the end of it. Y'all have pushed us to the limit, and we ain't going to take it no more. There's stuff that us citizens can do, and we're fixing to do them, starting now. That black guy, he pulled the trigger on that cop, but he really ain't the one that actually killed the cop. The one that killed him was these Black Panthers and all these black thugs that comes to your town and marches and hollers oink oink bang bang and all that retarded shit. They're the ones that's responsible for it. Them and people like Farrakhan wanting 10,000 volunteers to track people down, cops and all that, and kill them. Starting now, we holding these people responsible. Like I said, it stops now. Don't ever let a Black Panther or any black group come to your town and march in that town and get done and be able to get in their vehicle and leave. That's over with. And law enforcement, I'm talking to you now. When we get there, and we're going to be there, step aside. Do not try to stop us, because our fight is not with you. It's for you.
Okay, now he's fixing to say, here's what I want y'all to do. Y'all go get one of these here slingshots. Now watch what he says.
Now I'm going to tell you old people, grandmas, grandpas, kids, all of you can get in on this. When there's a Black Panther group going to head to a town and they're going to rally and holler, kill cops, law enforcement, you put it out and you let people know they're coming. And all you older people that wants to get involved, I got something for you. This is called a slingshot. You go to Walmart and you get it. Okay, when these Black Panthers come to your town, to start with, they have to drive a vehicle. Well, that's where you start at. You disable them vehicles. You pepper their ass with rocks. You bust the windshields out. You stop them vehicles from running. When them Panthers has to walk and run out of town, they will not come back to your town. You people do that. Me, I will be there. If I have to be there.
Can you imagine one of them coming to my door and going, Debbie, where's the boys at? We heard they was out there in the new edition. I said, yeah, you better get them riding those bicycles. That's pretty bad stuff. I said, buddy, get out of here. Get off my property. And one time I said, hold on just a second. I closed the door and I went back. I said, I just made your yearly salary. I said, now go home to your fat wife, your fat psychotic wife who beat you in submission because we're building the wall. The wall's up. We don't need no edge. You know, I was sitting there. Stephen ran around with the valedictorian, a doctor's son whose name was Hunter. He's real sweet. Brett, who went on to Penn State and became
aeronautical engineer.
A what?
I think he's an aeronautical engineer.
An aeronautical engineer. And Stephen. This was a group of about 6 boys who had these motorcycles go wah, 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 wah.
Well, they had bicycles at first.
Over in the new edition where there was only streets poured. You know how before they sell the lots, there's just streets, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderland for these boys to go ride because nobody lived there. And I said, guys, leave them alone. They're just over there. These are good kids you're dealing. These kids don't do anything. And they had been over there riding, and they saw them. They all put their motorcycles in my garage and pulled the garage door. And I said, go upstairs and get your books. And there they came. I said, what is it? And they said, we need to get the boys, Debbie. They were over in the new edition. I said, you guys really need to get a hobby, okay? I don't know if they were half the time flirting with me or what it was. But
no, they wanted to put us in jail.
One time, they came and chased me all the way to school on the day that I had megaphones and pom-poms in the back of my car because we had painted the megaphones. Taylor pulls me over. I said, Taylor, I don't mind stopping, but I've got to get Heather to school. I rolled down my window. He pursued me onto the school, and when I stopped to get out with Heather, he gets out of his squad car, his cruiser, and pulls a gun on me. I said, Taylor, what are you going to do? Shoot me? I said, stop it. And I just walked straight into the school because we were late, and I had to check her in. Well, when we go to court, he gives me a ticket, and I tear it up. I don't even see it, and I realize that the court day was such and such. We go there, and I take Heather with me. We sit down, and Taylor takes a stand. Okay, the state goes, she goes, call your first witness. The state says, we call deputy sheriff, blah, 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 blah. He gets up there. He goes, I clocked her at 83, but I wrote her at 65. No, he said, I wrote her at 65, but I clocked her at 83. And I said, objection. And the judge goes, objection to what? I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, I make a motion, an oral motion to dismiss this case on the grounds that he lied on the information. And they go, case dismissed. And when I walked up there, he goes, I started to walk out of the courthouse. I was real mad. And the guy goes, hello, you've got to come up here and get some paperwork to take to the clerk. I walked up there and I stood there next to Taylor and I said, well, how do you feel now, Barney Fife? And the judge gave me the papers. I tore them up, threw them in the trash, and walked out of the courthouse. Heather goes, oh, Mom, I can't believe you just did that. I said, I'm not a runner between here and the clerks. Screw this. I'm tired. I told him I said my piece. He said, case dismissed. I'm out of there. And I walked out.
That's a great story. That's amazing that you pulled that off, actually.
Why? I was right.
I know, but still, though, in a lot of counties, they don't give a fuck if you're right. They'll railroad your ass. You just.
I've got this air. I've got an air to me. I just inherited it from my dad. But let's keep going. This is great. But this is what I was dealing with. This was the sheriffs. These are all sheriffs.
By myself, I will, but I don't think I have to. All you guys like me that's able to stand up and fight, we gonna be there. Long as the law enforcement lets us know they're coming. And we're gonna push them Panthers out of town. Never again will they stand in a street.
He was talking about Black Lives Matter. He was calling on the Panthers, and they were the Panthers. But we found out later that this sheriff, his oldest daughter, had been living with a black man. Huh? How about that?
Lovely.
And he goes up against them right here. This is even better. Watch this part. It's really good.
And guess what? Let me tell you.
There he is.
I'm that brother that will whip your ass. You know? And let me tell you something about me. I'm different, okay? I'm not the one you play with. I'm not playing. Let me tell you something about
These Black Lives Matter had machine guns standing
So did
in. Standing who? What do you mean? So did they?
The white guys.
This
What?
black guy,
What?
he's getting ready to stand right up to this guy.
Just
Yeah,
what?
yeah, just
Okay,
watch.
hold on.
I'm looking forward to this.
Sure will.
That's good. I'll get with you too.
You don't think so? You wouldn't even stand it, buddy. You
What's
wouldn't
your
even stand
name, sir? You got my horse in the sheriff, dude.
Trust
At
me,
least
I
you
will.
can stand outside by
You
the
might
people.
want to look me up. I'll break your ass.
I already did. I know
Thank
about
you. So you don't want to play with me?
Don't play. Don't play. You a tough one, huh? What about your
I'm
sheriff?
upset about your daughter.
Why your sheriff ain't got the ball? Why you gonna say y'all good old boys, right? Y'all the good old boys, right? He what? He what?
Y'all know why you upset?
What?
You want to know why you upset? What happened?
Why you upset, dude? Conspiracy.
Let me tell everybody right now. His daughter's the one of the ones supposed to be messing with us. Let me tell everybody right now.
Hold on.
Fuck you.
Hold on.
You know what happened. Let me tell everybody right now. You know what happened. Y'all know your daughter said you know what happened. You know why he upset? Your daughter said you know what happened.
No.
I got the post. You want me to go get it?
You know what
I
happened?
got your so your daughter didn't say that you know what happened.
No.
Your daughter didn't say that. We have your own daughter's words.
Yeah, whatever.
We have Ashley's words. Ashley Enoch. We have Ashley's words. We know why you upset. Because your daughter like black coffee, no sugar, no cream.
Oh man.
Your daughter like black
Oh,
coffee,
Lordy, Lordy, Lordy.
no sugar, no cream. His daughter,
Black
The new
His-
KKK.
long, deep, and repeatedly.
his daughter worked at a restaurant, at one of those cafes where they like smack gum and they're real country and western and stuff. And they met her there, and she goes, "Oh, my boyfriend's black," and that was his daughter.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't know that. This is great.
Oh, you
Oh,
didn't know that?
man.
Okay, Victor wants to let it roll.
That's why you upset. It eating you up, ain't it? It eating you up, ain't it? That she likes a black man. That's what you're upset about. That's why we know your daughter's name. That's why you're hurt. I know it hurts. I know it hurts.
Ben.
I know it hurts.
Ben, does any of my
I know it hurts.
any of my family like black?
I know it hurts.
Got him! Got him!
Hurts.
Right.
Ashley does. Hey. Ashley does. Now, let me tell you something, Peckerwood. Let me tell you something. I will
Peckerwood.
Black guy being a racist.
And we know one. Trust me. And we know. And we know.
I don't put your
I'm
family.
that one. I'm that one. And we know you. And we know. If someone gets caught at your house, they'll be found out the next morning. I don't need no help. I don't need no help. I don't need no help. I will break you.
What did you say, Dr. B?
Oh, I was just saying because he said some double negative sentence. He said he don't need no help.
Oh yeah,
He
but they did send
He's
some
not
of that. They
observing
did
proper
send
English.
They did send some of the toughest guys. Did y'all see some of these guys that were there with him?
Yeah.
Look at this guy Look at this guy behind him.
Oh,
That's a
shit.
big
He's
fucking guy.
he's a half-
Yeah, would you see the other guy with longer hair?
And the white guys are over here watching them because this could have
They're all
got
saying
real.
that so they can get the rifles.
This could have got.
Hey, this guy is buffed, and he's bringing out some serious ebonics, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying
Well,
this.
he's throwing a bunch of country
Okay.
stuff at him too.
Black
That's for Dr. B.
I don't need no help. I will break you, partner. Your daughter like black men. Bottom line. That's why you upset. See, that's why the investigation would have been done. All this stuff that came out. Because your daughter like black men. That ain't no rumor. That's from your daughter. Your daughter sent that to April's wife. Your daughter sent that post to your April's wife. That's what you upset about. And you didn't try to turn the FBI with record. That's what you upset about.
I asked him, and he said he knew what
That's what
happened.
you upset about.
Well, look, there's a sheriff. Look how fat he is. Hi, sheriff. Right there.
Time to de-escalate the
Tell her we
situation.
said hi. Tell her we said hi.
My family out of your name.
Hey,
That man
she
can say
told
what he
us.
want to say.
She told us.
That man can say what he want
It's on the internet now.
That man can say what he want to say. That's what you mad about.
God, they're so fucking loud. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's like, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God.
Loud
meet
black
again?
women.
What did you
Good
say?
Lord.
Didn't they meet again?
I don't think so.
Not trying to be racist, but the black people, black community need to go after, some of those loudmouth stereotypes. I mean, they're making a fools out of themselves if they're going to let these people just be loud and vocal. That's the problem with racism in this country, is that each side, each race has its own bad apples. Like for example, white people with the KKK, ever since the 20th century, ever since we adopt the civil rights legislation, a lot more people are growing diverse, and diversity is being accepted and tolerated even in the workplace. So that means even black people have a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, you're exactly right. There was a Dallas sheriff also that did something really horrible on I-35 with a motor. And this guy took the Dallas sheriff's office to court and won millions, what this little prick did. There was a big bunch of people on Interstate 35 with motorcycles on. They were protesting the law that said you had to wear a helmet under so many cc's and everything. And this one guy gets pulled over, and he makes up charges. And listen to what this sheriff did. This is real. I'll go fast. Watch. They weren't doing anything wrong. Okay, here comes the sheriff. There, did you see him parked right there? This building is right here. You're fixing to see Parkland Hospital. Right there, that's Parkland Hospital where they took the JFK. Okay, watch.
Doing something wrong? Doing something wrong? Was I doing something wrong? What am I being put over for? The whole group of you, yeah. No, I was not individually.
Now here's what he said. He said, I'm here to seize your camera for evidence that the guys were illegally driving motorcycles. That's what he wanted, okay? And watch what he does to this guy. This guy, watch what he does.
You can't register what everybody else does with one person. That's fine. Okay. All right, that's cool. It's being recorded anyways. For what?
You're under arrest for your license plate being obstructed. Place your hands behind your back.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Place your hands behind your
You're being arrested for your license plate being obstructed, placing him under arrest. All right. Now watch the dirty deeds that goes on with Dallas. See where it says sheriff. Watch.
Place your hands behind your back.
Are you kidding
me? You understand me?
Whoa, man.
Hey, shut up! Place your hands behind your back, okay? Behind your back!
Wow. You talk about brutality, man.
Shut up.
Shut up my ass, man.
Come here.
You got
How do I get this off?
No, I'm taking it off. All right, man, I can get it off.
How do I get it off? How do I get it off?
All right, I'll get it off.
Will you please tell me how to get it off now?
I can show you how.
You've got kidding me, man.
I can show you how to get it.
Man, like, are you serious? I didn't do anything. I didn't even pertain a reason to be pulled over.
Please, sit down.
Oh shit.
He just broke his leg. He slammed the door on his leg. Did you see that? Do you see his temper? Do you see the temper? Watch. They don't, and the other cops just like, thank you, we're just doing business. Watch the sheriff lose his temper and break the kid's leg. Are you ready? Watch. Okay, those are cops. Those are Dallas police officers. Now watch.
I didn't do anything. I didn't even pertain a reason to be pulled over.
I could not see your license plate.
Dude, that wasn't why you pulled me over in the first place.
No, I put you over.
Hold on, you didn't. Why'd you pull me over in the first place? What you did to me was not right. You know it.
I'm going to ask you one more time to have a seat, okay?
So fucked up. Where's my bike going? No, why can't I drive off?
Please, sit down.
There he goes. He lost his temper. Now watch.
Oh
Wow.
I'm telling you to chill out.
That's what they do. They have no. He's hurt, so he takes him to court, sues them, and wins millions of dollars. He was a good,
Really?
Yeah, he was a great.
Tell 'em why.
What?
Because all those other motorcycle guys had cameras on their heads, and they showed that there was nothing obstructing his license plate.
Oh yeah, it was
just
total
hanging
bullshit.
right
But I'm just showing you the Dallas sheriffs. The cops aren't that bad. Dallas cops are pretty. My brother was a cop. They're trained. They have to have college degrees, and they go through extensive training. But not these idiots. And he sues them, and it's a pretty big deal that happens.
Well, tell them if you go online and look at all these things, almost 85% of them are probably sheriffs.
Okay, watch what happens. Okay, the guy's like, fuck, I fucked up, watch. So he tries to make nice, not realizing he's being recorded. He's walking it off. He's like, okay.
Do you have anything else to do?
Too late. Too late. We'll watch him try to undo what he did. He doesn't know he's being recorded.
Why am I being arrested for a plate? You're going to take me to jail. I'm going to spend all my time having to bail out, go to court, do all this shit. 5 hours, I still got to bail out.
Okay, first thing, you don't make eye contact. David says you never make eye contact with him. You continue to look off and you remain calm. Because that's what these sheriffs don't know. And I've said this 1,000 times. They're not trained in anger management, in temper management. They're not trained.
No.
And they're dangerous when they're out doing this.
Yeah.
When they're out policing. They're not.
Just paying attention to what that guy's saying, and you just don't listen to it. Just say, hey.
You just act like you hear wah 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 wah
Say,
wah wah.
Got to do the procedure. Got to go down there, get booked in. Whatever.
But it's always the goddamn sheriffs. It's always the sheriffs to me. It's what I see constantly. And all this guy was going to do, this was so horrible. It was on Memorial Day weekend, motorcycle rider Chris Moore was arrested by the Dallas deputy sheriff. The arrest was part of a crackdown against sports bike riders. Moore says Westbrook made up a charge in order to gain access to the video camera mounted on his helmet. That's all he wanted, he wanted it for evidence or whatever, the camera.
Isn't that crazy? Bastards.
Anyway, that's all.
I'm staying, honey. I gotta go to sleep.
Well, go to bed. I don't care. I'm
well,
fine.
you don't.
Oh, it's 4 o'clock. Jesus.
Go to bed, everybody. Good night.
I'm just teasing you.
No, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I just wanted to say good night. That's all.
He can say.
I don't
He can
just
stay
want to
till
fall asleep without saying
4:15.
good night.
Hold on, Vic. I'm sorry. Go ahead and go to sleep. And everybody have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye, Dr. B.
All right, bye, Dr.
Hi,
B.
Debbie.
His little face.
Dr. B? I guess I lost him, yeah.
This is a mini.
Where did I go? Okay, over here to kill the show. All right, thanks everybody for listening, especially all the mean people in the chat room. I love you all. Good night. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I didn't know we were live there at the end.
Well, what did you think we were?
I thought we were off the show.
No. There's an hour and a half left. All right, good night, guys.